to get your information. Total Spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moreover, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Fonjama, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat keep on congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a Spoon TV, you got a Spoon Radio, to spoon. To spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Spoon Spoon entertainment. Go to there. With the spoon and your boy, Friday the South Man. Charges on the beat. On the spoon to get your information. To the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia.
Beautiful songs right here. This is your FN Ben, and no matter where you are, welcome to the program Night Talk. That's a Spoon Talk on this radio, and my name is Byron. Welcome, no matter where you are. Let me say, good evening, Jeans.
Good evening, Honorable Byron Brown. How do you do? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, bro. How you do? I'm not getting you, Byron.
Jeans, are you there?
I'm here. I'm getting you. You getting me?
Okay.
I think we get a small problem.
Well,
Honorable
this is
Tomale,
from FN.
good evening.
And,
Good evening, Dr.
broadcasting
Richardson.
from Monrovia.
I think we're facing small
And
problem.
let us take this break to be right back.
Well, if you guys joining us, we still trying to get connected with our team there in Monrovia. So let's wait to get everything set up. Okay, while we are waiting, studio to join us. Good evening, Dr. Richardson and Chief St. Tomale.
Hello, Tomale. Hi, good day. How you doing?
Well, good morning, man.
That's good.
Good to see you, Dr. Richardson, and good day. Good to see you. And It's good to be back on the Spoon Talk.
Mhm.
And also to our many listeners and viewers. Wow, I see. Can you imagine? I see already almost 18,000 already. Oh my God. Interesting day, interesting show. But good to be back here, and we know it'll be an interesting show. We have the senator from Nima County. I told him, I said he's the most talked about.
Yeah, Baron, I'm coming. You getting us?
Jeans, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. You getting me?
Well,
Are you getting me?
Jeans, can you hear me?
You are loud and clear. You are loud and clear. You getting me?
Well, I think we'll have to take a break.
All right, take a break. When
And
everything
be
is
right back.
sorted out, we will get you back. Yeah, Honorable, welcome.
Yes, good day, and Dr. Richardson. How's the
Yeah.
day? How's everything at your end?
Well, yesterday, I was very busy working, so today is like my Friday, very slow day for me. But I'm doing well. Just tomorrow I have enough energy to engage. But I'm looking forward to a spirited conversation. It's my understanding that we're going to have Mr. Cohn in studio today, right?
Yeah, the senator of Nima County, Senator Cohn, he will be in the studio today, and he'll be our guest tonight. I'll have an interesting conversation with him tonight.
Yes. I'm looking forward to speaking about the best interests of Liberian people, as we usually do, provide information. So that should be interesting.
So, I was like, tell me, what's any updates from your end? What's going on your end? What's on your plate for today?
I'm coming. I'm talking to the guys in studio. I'll join you.
Okay. Not a lot. In terms of updates from my end. Like I said,
Well, good evening, Jeans.
okay, good. I can hear you, Byron. I can hear you.
Jeans, your mic is muted.
Baron, we getting you clear. You getting me?
Yes.
Okay, good. We said, Emmanuel, thank you.
Dr. Richardson, good evening.
Jeans, your mic is muted. How are you doing, Byron? How is it going today?
Well, thank God, thank you. And how is it with you?
I'm doing well. A little tired today. On Wednesday, I usually teach 2 classes. So they run from 4:30 to 7:10 to 10 o'clock. So I'm exhausted on Thursday. Usually it's my slower day. My brain isn't quite, thinking correctly. But we're here. We're here to do
Baron, check your phone.
our work, which is to provide information relating to Liberia, to the Liberians. So I understand we have Senator Cohn in studio. That's what we're going to be doing today, talking to Senator Cohn, right?
Yeah, he hasn't arrived.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's.
I spoke to him a few minutes ago. He'll be coming in today. Yeah.
Okay.
But Baron, you on the ground in Liberia? Can you just give us some updates of what happened in the country today? What's the news there? What's going on in Liberia today?
Well, the only trending issue we have in the country today, the Minister of Lands and Mines, he appeared before the Senate, and the Finance Minister of Liberia, and the National Investment Commission boss, and the Justice Minister. They appeared before our senators to talk about the Western Cluster deal. And one of the key things that they talked about today, where they asked the Justice Minister, was about the waiver of $13 million. The government of Liberia anticipated 23 million United States dollars from the Western Cluster. But the government of Liberia said today that they only received $30 million from Western Cluster.
You said 30 or 13?
13 million, 13, 1 free.
Okay.
Yeah, from Western Cluster. So so that was a ticket issue. So some of the senators, they had problem, with the government of Liberia, meaning the justice minister, as to whom authorized them, and who actually authorized them to waive $30 million.
Wow.
So the Western Cluster issue, I think it is the most trending issue right now in the country, where you had our senators discussing, that identical deal. So far, so good. That's the only trending issue that I know, and that I can say this, afternoon, this evening,
to
and this
cor-
morning. Yes.
just to correct myself,
Mhm.
so they waived because the government received 13 million, so they waived 10 million, right? That's
Yes.
what. Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's 10 million waived. So out of the 10 million, 5 million was supposed to go to Bummy, and we haven't heard whether they got that yet.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
So
that's the only trending issue that that is in the country.
what the senator resolve on? What did they resolve on?
Well, I'm told that they are going to invite the justice minister again to discuss this matter, because it is a trending issue in the country. It borders on the integrity of the government, and as you may be aware, this also brought Senator Edwin Snow, his credibility, into questioning. So the senators, they are back and are discussing this issue about the mining sector, talking about our brothers and sisters who are at the various mining sites, their well-being, and so that's the only issue that making headlines in the country.
So good. Also, but I thought today the Supreme Court denied the petition of the Liberian anti-corruption chair. They filed a petition with the Supreme Court concerning the establishment, the amendment of the LSCC Act. I received reports that the petition was denied. The government won the case.
Yes, you are right.
Say that again, Tamale. What did the case involved?
The LSCC. There was they amended the law, the act that created the LSCC, and
Yes, I mean, it was to include the president making appointments as to.
Yeah.
Chairman, Councillor Edwin Martin took them to court because he said that the position that he held is a 10-year position, and it was against the law. He felt it was unconstitutional to amend the act and to replace them. So he took to court, and the full bench heard the case today, and they ruled in favor of the government, denying.
Wow.
That is surprising.
Very, very surprising. And that came about as soon as it came from NIMA, when they came from that NIMA's cabinet retreat. That was all.
Wow.
I thought he was going to win. Yeah.
I did too. I think because they're saying that the commissioners cannot be tenured, that the act that created them does not exist, that another the president can dismiss and dismiss their tenure and set up a whole new body for LSCC work. That's what I'm hearing.
That's so bad for the country.
I'm yet to see the ruling. I did not even follow it.
Yeah, I would like to see their reasoning,
Yeah.
the constitutional reasoning behind it. So I will hold my peace. But I didn't want to preempt their ruling. I think that's kind of something we had discussed on the show, not to preempt their ruling. And but it's interesting. That's an interesting ruling to say, that the law that created that body doesn't really matter, that a new law can be created to say that the president, I believe, if I remember correctly, and that the president can appoint or be involved in the appointing of people who would be on a commission. I don't know if you guys remember that correctly.
No, I can't really recall. I know the president is supposed to appoint vetting committee that will vet
Yes,
those who will apply.
correct,
I think it should be 5 or 7, if I'm
correct.
not making mistake, to
Correct.
vet those who will apply. And
Yes.
then it was also stated the then head of LSCC also had a chance to reapply. If he's vetted and successful, then he will go back and continue. But that, I think, 7-man committee between 5 and 7.
Yeah.
I may be missing something. The president is the one to appoint those people,
Correct.
and then they now will accept applications
Correct.
and vet all the applicants.
Yes, I do remember that, James, because of the argument that the government said that they weren't explicitly, directly involved in the appointment of commissioners on the LSCC. It was just the government would just, the president would just appoint people and the work would carry on from there. Because there was this argument that I think that he should not be involved. I think that it should be, it's a corruption agency that is to assess the government's functioning, and being the head of the government, I believe that he shouldn't have been involved in this matter at all. But again, that's interesting to hear.
Well, we heard the news about the Supreme Court ruling and so forth. And also, the president was out today, right? He performed some public dedication today, right?
Yes.
What was it? Public school he dedicated?
I saw that on the social media, where around the King Great era, where he dedicated a public school today, the president. And I also saw another story that was carried on the Executive Mansion website, where the government of Liberia, the finance minister of Liberia and the World Bank, or we can say the government of Liberia and the World Bank, they signed 2 financing agreements, and in the tune of 50 million United States dollars. And that program was held today. So the president, he dedicated a project today, and a signing ceremony between the government of Liberia and the World Bank, was held today.
So, what was the agreement about?
Well, in order to finance the government of Liberia to carry on its projects, and because the government of Liberia has numerous projects, so today another program was held where, and the government of Liberia was given additional I think $50 million.
I'm told the senator is in studio.
So basically, it was all about to help revive the economy of Liberia, to recover the economy.
That's good news for the country. Guys, let's take a 2 minutes break, and then we'll be back to start to get the show going. Take a 2 minutes break, okay?
All right. Pamela, let's go to the theme song.
The CEO stand coming with the spoon, and your boy Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
For the spoon to get your information. For the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa,
Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Funjama, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat kepa, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you got today?
Spoon TV, Spoon
Yes, what you got today?
Spoon
Listen.
Spoon TV, Spoon
Ba-da-ba-di-da-di-da.
Spoon
Skiddy-dee-dee-dee-da-ba-do.
Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment.
Gua. Você go to there. Gua, go to there.
On the spoon to get
Yes, what
your
you
information.
Gua.
On the spoon to be
Yes, what you
Spoon television.
Yes, what you party there.
Spoon radio.
From the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band. Charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Morovia.
Monrovia,
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Africa,
Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision.
Okay.
To spoon.
Barrow, thank you.
You want to know what happening in the ministry, to spoon.
All right, Barbara, thank you. Well, folks, welcome back from the break. St. Tomolin and Dr. Richardson, along with the other team, will be joining us very shortly. Okay, Tomolin is back, and the guest is already in studio, so they're going to continue with another beautiful conversation. Okay. You are muted.
Well, I'm here, James, and the guest is already in studio.
Yeah, Tomolin will pick up.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start the show, but I want to let you guys know the CEO will be coming in shortly to address you guys, and then we'll proceed with the show. So we'll just, but in the meantime, while we're waiting him, we'll bring the guest in, and as soon as the CEO gets ready, we'll break in to get him to talk to you guys. So you can bring Senator in.
Honorable Dr. Senator.
Oh, welcome.
You got a Senator mic on.
Yeah, am I going right?
Yes.
Welcome, Senator Kuhn. This Senator Jeremiah K. Kuhn. Right?
KPAN.
Yeah, Kuhn. As I told you the other day, I said you the hottest man on the block. Everybody talking about you, and in conversation for running for president, for VPs, pig, and everything. But today, we want to do something. As I said earlier, the CEO will be joining us for a brief moment, and then to address you guys, the people, the viewers, and those watching. And right after, but while we wait his coming in, we'll start with the senator. So, Senator Kuhn, would like to start with you right away. Especially, we'll start today. Yes, we're going to do so with Senator. We'll know his upbringing, his business life, his political life, and then we're asking questions that relating to his activities and in the political arena. So, Senator Kuhn, we want to start with you, but in the meantime, let me give the chance to Dr. Richardson to give her intro, and then we'll get going.
I'm looking forward to having a great show, Senator Kuhn. I know you will be speaking for the people of Nimai County and also for the people of Liberia at large. So I know many are tuned in. So it's going to be a very interesting show. When we come here, we speak about the interests of Liberians all the time. So I'm looking forward to this show.
Thank you.
Byron?
Well, Honorable Senator, welcome. And Dr. Richardson just welcome you and want you to feel free. This is the national platform, the premium, station and institution in the country. And we expect you to address all of our concerns, our questions, and feel free to express yourself on this ethnical network. So welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Dr. Peabody. Welcome, Kev. You guys just give your intro, and then we can get into the show. But as I said earlier, as soon as this CEO is ready, we'll break in to allow him to speak to the people, and then we'll continue with the show. So go ahead, Dr. Peabody.
Well, good to see Senator Jeremiah Kuhn, my good friend. Good to see you again, and like to welcome you to the Spoon Talk. It's been a while, but there's a lot of great news I've been hearing. So I'm glad you are here to really talk about it today. So it's good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you, Peabody.
Kev.
Hey, hi everybody. It's doing. Senator, welcome to the show, and it's great to see you. Ready to listen to what you have to say.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Senator Kuhn, we know you're one of the most popular senator in our Senate, and for some time, recent times, your name been popping up in the political arena. Everybody is talking about you, conversations about you running for president. You just became the political leader of the MGR, and now we're hearing that you'll be running for president. One day we hear that you're running for vice president to one of the opposition candidates, or whatever the case. But we want to give you an opportunity to tell us about your upbringing first, just to give a little minute description of your upbringing before we go into other discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Timothy. So let me start with this. Again, my name is Jeremiah Kuhn. I'm hearing myself, please.
Yeah, why?
Okay. So my father came from Sino Jeripo Dodweke and went to Yekepa in search of job in the late 60s. And he met my mother in 1974, Twaka Esther Maka. And he got married to her, and they bore me 1978. I was born in Yekepa, Nema County. The company redundant my father 1983, and so we moved to Gompa City, where we lived from 93, from 83 up to 1986. Then my father, younger sister, Eva, came and asked that I go live with her in Buchanan. At this time, I'm in a K2. So my pa and mother sent me to school, and where they stop is K2. So I moved to Buchanan, living with my aunt. My work was to take care of her daughter, cook in the house, go to school, clean the house. And so that was my routine work. Saturday, wash, clean up, press, and get ready for Sunday service, and Monday school starts. And that's why I don't watch football much. I'm not part of any Arsenal or all the team because I don't know football business. And you put me in the kitchen to cook, I'm a super cook. You put me in the home to clean up, I do a lot of women work. So most time, big day at my house, I cook and I do a lot of those work. So I moved to my aunt 1986 in Buchanan, but she was a disciplinarian person. When she ready to whip you, that almost 4-5 ratting. And so by 1990, the war hit Bassa in May. I was in Buchanan. The war met me in Bassa. And most of my friends started joining the rebel at the time, Freedom Fighter. And so it was like we're all big boys now. So one day I gone to play with my friends. When I came back, my auntie said she would whip me. I said, they can't whip me today. I'm big boy now. At this time, I'm 12 years old. He said, if I can whip you, then you leave the house. I said, okay. So they put me out. I left the house. I'm 12 years old when I moved on my own. So I used to be in Buchanan. There's a supermarket in Buchanan at the time called the NASA Supermarket. I used to sit in front of it. When people bring their load, we have to offload. They give me 25 cents, 50 cents. And that's how I started surviving. I sleep sometimes right in front of the supermarket or under the table. 1-2 months, I moved to Fountain Town. While at Fountain Town in Buchanan, I used to walk from Fountain Town all the way to Edana every morning to go find cruiser. Because there are a lot of cruiser in Edana to find it and see whether I can sell it. But every morning I went to walk, I would find maybe $2-3. You know, the sea can bring the day, and you gotta be. I would be kicking the day, moving, ain't no play in the day. But every day I would find money. Today I wonder whether somebody used to put that money there for me to take also. But that answer I can't find. I spent like a month, and then this guy going to fishing in the morning, and he caught me by 4 o'clock in the morning. I was sleeping in the kino. There's a fighting guy called Kwamina. I haven't forgotten that name. So he asked me, at that time the Zogo thing was not like this. So nobody would see a child like me and say maybe he's Zogo or so. I thought we never even had what they call Zogo. So he took me and said, what are you doing here? I said, I came to live with my auntie, but she put me out. And my mom and pa in Nimba. I don't know where they are. So I'm surviving here in Yakino, I can sleep. So he took me to a house and said, we're going to fishing. I'll come back. When he took me there, look, apparently he's somebody who can just see children and carry to the house. So his wife was vexed. She got in the morning. Where you taking another child from? So she decided to punish me, give me t-shirt to wash, clean the house. But then that was my area. So I cleaned the t-shirt perfectly, cleaned the kitchen, everything. So she was concerned, but who the labor? As time go by, I took over the house. I used to cook, clean the house, and everything. So I was there up to the end of 1990. By this time, when they go fishing, they come, they give me some more fish. I save my money. So I almost $400-500. That was big money. And so I told them one morning, I'm moving on my own. So I went, I rent a room, and I moved, bought my mattress, I moved there. I'm 13 years old now, 91. So I used to go to the cruise town to buy fish, the big fish, and sell it. They see when you come over, you see the boys got fish in their hand. That was my first form of business at 13. This day I'm going to sell in the loop in Buchanan. And I met Tom Woyu, Nelson Taylor, Batu Taylor, the whole group. They are Nelson Taylor house having soup and drink. And so they saw me passing with the fish. They said, "Labor, come here. How much for the fish?" I called the price. They said, "Who you selling for?" I said, "Myself." They said, "How are your parents?" I said, "My mom and pa in Nima, but I'm here living on my own because my auntie thought I was disrespectful, and so I'm on my own." So they told me from today, if you got fish, just bring it here, we'll buy it. So I got a big market now. I try to exploit that market. Every time I bought fish, took it there, whether to Nelson Taylor or Batu Taylor, Tom Woyu, any of them. I started doing well. By 92, I'm like 14 now, a big boy. And I thought to start going to Nima to sell. So we used to buy the coconut oil from somewhere in Riverside called Bioba. Dry fish, we buy palm oil, and take it to Nima to sell. I used to be on the train. We used to call it Pumatin. So we would be on the train, go sell, come back. And then by 1993, my last trip, I turned to, how you call it, the war was fighting, the time Duruba were bombing all around the place, the plane. So I thought to move to name my farm, my parents. So I got in Yekepa, called my father's name. My father is Adam Sonne Kun. So when I call his name, they say, "Oh, Pakun." They make a watching radio repairing shop somewhere right in the P market. So somebody directed me there. I went there. But my father didn't know me again. I could remember the face a bit. I left, I was very young. So I spoke to him. I said, "Papa, hello." He said, "Who you, small child?" I said, "My name Omen," because my play name Omen. He said, "Who Omen?" I said, "Your son." So he hugged me and he started crying. I asked my mom. He said he left there in Ganta, said 1989. He went to look for a job in Lamco, and he heard that they are going across the border. He haven't seen it. So my thing was, we in 93. You haven't seen this woman, so we have our own talk. And he was stopping to with one of his friends called Charles Doe. So he took me to a friend place in New K in Yekepa. New K was 50. When we got there that evening, the wife had problem while he's stopping there with them and he bringing his son. So he might get the house crowded soon. So she had some problem with a complaint. And the husband said, "Lord, my brother, his son just stopping here for some time. He will go." In the morning, apparently she want to punish me too. Go wash the shit. Go clean the house. Now my area again, I did it perfectly. And so I began to cook and other things. I took over the house. We used to fit the blue soap in Yekepa, make the soap and call it, it used to kind of like a bar. And then we go sell. So I would cook, clean the house, go sell soap, and come back. And that was a normal routine. After 5, 6 months, She wanted me to live with her so she can send me to school. I told her I wanted to go find my mom. My mission was to find where my mom was. So I told her thank you, and I moved to Ganta. We have our old house because since the war she left, the house is staying in the bush. And the neighbors around the place, I asked, I said, do you know the woman who owned the house? They said, yeah, the woman going to Guinea in a town called Bala. So I said, can you direct me the road? So they directed me. And I went to the border, across the border. I walked to the town. It's about 2 hour, 30 minute walk. When I got to the town, the refugee camp road is on the right. When you're coming from Liberia way, going down the way is a path road. The first person I met at the intersection of that road was the guy who next to me. He played near a small man. They call him Elijah. So the guy passing and going to school, and I'm making a face up, but I'm wondering whether I should call him or not him. So I'm judging myself. Finally, I tried and said, small man. So he stood up. He said, who are you? I said, did your mom inform you that you got a brother called Omer? He said, yes. I said, I'm Omer. He didn't stop at me. He started running straight to the camp. He entered the camp and told my mom, oh, I saw Omer on the road. My mom too thinking maybe I'm dead because no information, nothing. The way she yelled, the other women started running. She started running down the road. Before they got to me, over 20 women around me. All of them crying. I know who my mom is. So I'm wondering which of them could be my mom. But I can ask question. We went home. It's a refugee house, Papo OA with Tapoli. And after study time, most of the women left, and one of them left in the house. Then she started asking me, how your aunt that took you? I said, well, I left my aunt a long time. I've been on my own. Started showing me my brothers and sisters. I got one sister. She had my sister while I around. She had my other brothers, the twins, while I around. So we had a reunion again. I got to know my mom again. Went to Yekepa to inform my father, saw my mom, and we could go there. But he didn't follow me. I went back. We are around 94 now. So I went back to visit. We got in 94. I think Banga fell. I can't come back to Liberia. So I became a refugee. While in the refugee camp, across the border, they were selling Kinju gallon for 10,000 Liberian dollars. But it's $50 in Liberia. And the other tender part of the town was anybody on the borderline, they should shoot you and kill you. But you got $50 for 10,000. I thought I could take the risk. So a few of us gathered ourselves, and we came to Liberia, bought Kinju, and back to Guinea we sell. So if our normal business, we come 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, we used to call it Bolong. So we come 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, cross the St. John River, buy the Kinju, make sure you go back before day. Because when the Guinean arrest you, they could kill you. When the Liberian side arrest you, they can kill you. But the higher the risk, the higher was the return. And so we took the risk. That's the day we came, and it was 2:30 in the morning, but the moon was still shining. So we thought to wait until maybe 3. So by 3, the moon went in darkness. So we jumped in the water. Me and my friend called Papa. Say, Papa, we crossed. But then I got offshore first, and he started giving me the container to move. While moving the container, I dragged the container in the middle of the feet. I heard the gun sound. Bah, 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 bah. So I ran, dropped. Then the man said, yeah, right here. And this time it was, I think, Cobra or Reaction Force, man, the group. And so they sacked the place, they started firing coming. So when the gunshot got close to me, I yelled. And they arrested me and they tied me. I had to tie on my hands today. My hand died for almost 2 months. My friend was down the hole, so he crossed and went back to Guinea. And the guy said, if your friend don't come, we'll kill you. So tell him to come. I spoke to my friend. He answered across the river. I said, my man, come. And you don't come, the people will kill me. He crossed. He came. And they tied the both of us. They took us to a town close to Ganta called Bui. We slept in that town in rope. The next morning, they took us to the Ganta mission where Taylor lived. And they jailed us. I was in jail with the late Kaja Jacob, the late Nelson Taylor. All of us were in jail together. I spent 2 months in our jail. And after certain time, they free us. But the news are going across to my mom that they killed us, my friend mom, that we were dead. So they took the risk to cross. The very day they free us, we decided to go back. But the very day my mom and his mom were coming, that if even they can see their children's body, it's okay. So while going overnight, we met in the bush and they ran. We ran. So we hid ourselves. And later I saw a lady slipper. So when I took the slipper, I told my friend, I said, that women. So I said, who's that? They said, who you two? So we all gathered and came close. I go, I saw my man. My friend saw your man. We said, where you going? They said, the people said, they kill you. Like, why we coming? We said, okay, you go in town. We will go back. So when my man left, we had 7 children. I'm the first of them. 6 boys, 1 girl. She left 5 boys, 1 girl to come look for me. And the children were there. So I had to go back. My mother could not cross. Left there with my brother. Things get tough. No food, nothing. Human being can get dry and grow tail. All my brothers grew tail. At a certain point, I thought they would die. And so I took the decision, Lord, I can't go again. They have arrested me before I was in jail. An attempt to go back and they arrest me, they could kill me. But I was senior. So I prepared a call, put on the rod, cross them, send them and tell their brother to take the internet. He called Emmanuel. He took them. When they entered the town, people started crying. The women started collecting food in the market. And then my mom ran from her house to see who they were talking about. When she came, she saw her children. Everybody collected food, gave her the G2 people at the town, took her to statement from her, and all kind of stuff. And she took her children with her. After a certain time, about 2095.
Senator, can you just cut it a little bit for time's sake, please?
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that part is a whole book. One day I will read a book.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
people will read it. Fast forward.
Okay.
Business. By 1996.
Well, let me just say to our viewers, the CEO will be appearing any moment from now. So just let you guys know, you stay put. He'll be appearing any moment from now. Okay. Just want to let you guys know. Go ahead, Senator.
By 1996, I was in Ganta. I just crossed the border. That thing subsided already. I'm in Ganta with my mom, my brothers, nothing doing. I thought to come to Monrovia to ask my uncles, my father brothers, to see how any of them can help me. So I came to one of my uncle called Gerald Weir. He teaches at Zion University. And so I was stopping with him at a certain time. And I asked him to help me go with only $100 to go start business. But things were tough with him too. And he gave me one full battery tip and pay my way. I left April 5. The next day was April 6. And I just left the thing day. The next day was the war. When I took that tip, I went and sold it for 3 gallons of cane juice. The Guinea women used to come to the border to buy cane juice, Guinea Peda women. They can't come in town because it was wartime. So I bought a 3 gallon, put 1 gallon of water, took it to the border, sold it, came back in town, ran back, bought 4 gallon, put another 1 gallon, sold it. I made 3 trade that day. So before the day end, I had 9 gallon. The next day I started. And the third day, my late brother joined me. So we started selling cane juice. And at a certain point, the women started trusting me, giving me their money. I would buy their cane juice and take it for them. And me and the girl on the truck, we go 0 now. I'm going in now to go sell. So they will sell their own, I sell mine. Or I come on the Liberian side, buy their own, buy mine. And we started a routine thing. But this time, we around 98. I'm doing cane juice business. So I got 2 kids. My first son and my second child, that is a girl. Her name is Geraldine. My first son is Jeremy. So my daughter was 8 months, 98, when she came down with epilepsy. 99, she came down with epilepsy. And the people say they can say she may not see breath, all kind of thing. So they get country medicine, they will put something in her nose and different stuff. But I still doing my business. So I used to buy, they say she may not get malaria. Or her skin get hot, she will convert. So I used to buy the chloroquine syrup, the paracetamol syrup, multivitamin, keep it home so that any attempt that the skin is getting hot, the man will give it to her. But I used to buy 150 JJ at a time for 1. So this day I finished selling my cane juice. I'm walking through the market looking for change, Liberian dollar, because we can sell in Guinea money. And I saw the drugstore with the same medicine I can buy. So I went there to ask, and they told me $10 for the bottle. This is something I can buy 150. Are you sure it's $10? The guy said yes. I said, so if I pay $10 now, and at that time 1,000 Guinea francs or $10. I said, so if I pay the 1,000 Guinea francs, you give it to me? He said, yeah. I get the money, the man give it to me. I choose to buy so instead of changing my money. So I bought it. I put it on the car, I brought it. I took it to pharmacy and a few of my friends, and they bought all. So I was spending something $10 to buy, maybe another $10 for all the cost store, other things. And I'm making 130. I thought the cane juice business was not a good business, and I should continue in the drugs business. So I started going there. There used to be a tablet called BNS, Stop Ache. I started buying it by cartoon. It's $10 for pack. It got 10 script in it, and we send it $10 for 1 script. So you get $100. When I see a can of drugs, I ask, what's this? They say that something called Innocent. What is it for? It's for your back. I know that other medicine. What do you want for? So gradually, I started getting it for. I started buying, selling to people. I used to go Secretary Market, Bam Market, Tabata Market, all the market days, and selling. So I started getting big, growing. The Ganta Hospital, no drugs there. Our house is right by the hospital. So I brought in drugs. Somebody made a list for me. And when I bought the drugs, put it in one room. My little brother lying down there. And the whole hospital pharmacy was in our house. So I started making money. Things started improving. When things started getting better, and I opened the pharmacy. The first pharmacy I opened, there's a big brother called Sim John who was in the medicine business. I didn't know that even I'm not a nurse or doctor, I could open a pharmacy. I just needed to hire a pharmacist to cover me. So I decided to use his name on my first pharmacy. I opened it and put his name. And people who are coming to buy from me say, why you put him in here? I said, but protection, I don't have the lesson. People say, oh, you can pay for your own thing. So I came to the library, medical stuff, the pharmacy book, pay all my thing, get my papers, and open my place. And later on, things started improving. I opened one general merchandise store. I started rice, flour, and other things. I started getting big. Boom. The people say the money they bought making up for nothing. Their daughter that's sick. He sacrificed a daughter, like a daughter vomiting the money. And my name went everywhere. While I was struggling with my child, and people were saying all lot of stuff about me. But it didn't bother me because my conscience was clear. 2003, Ganta fell. Let rebel enter. We all escaped. Before we escaped, I was buying a truck. I paid 12,000 to the guy across the border in Guinea. And so I paid the balance 6, and Ganta fell. I ran away from Ganta with 1 trouser and 1 shirt. I lost my pharmacy, my store, and all my businesses. Only that 12,000. I went to Saninkole. I went through Yekepa, went across the border, got the money. I started buying rice, chicken soup, salt, coming back, starting over. Why in the process? Tell me why be. Want me to stop now?
Yeah, I want to the fast forward because we gotta get some stuff to discuss.
Okay,
So
fast forward.
yeah,
Fast forward. Why in the process? I started building my house. Le Rebel in Sokopa. So you cross from Bon Country the first time in the map. Le is there. But we in Ganta and buying cement from Guinea and building house. At the time, Echo Mill was in Liberia. But Nima was cut off because the person in charge of Nima was Adolfo Dolo by then. So Adolfo Dolo was the leader, the president for us in Nima. Tida had left the country. So I was building my place, and then they opened the road. On-mill came, the first on-mill guy that came was called Mystery, JP Mystery. He's in Liberia now, he's visiting me now. He came to Ganta to find a place for the military observer and the police to stay. So they went all around town and they saw my place. Because I had a house there, I was living in before the war. I was building one, and it didn't finish, and I was building a new one. Then the war came. So when he came, he saw my place, it was like a compound. So I wasn't there. I was going across the border to buy nails and other things. He left message and said, I need this place. Who owns the place? They call my name.
so
He said, when the person comes,
come on. As we said, as soon as the CEO comes on
Okay.
the show, we'll give you
Thank you.
time. So as we said, the CEO are going to come on the show today to address the Liberian people and the viewers on what's prevailing and trending. So CEO, it should go to you.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks. Honorable Korn, how you doing?
I'm trying to try.
Oh, you're in studio. I see.
Yeah.
Good to see you, man. Kefiko, the Fagon.
Yes, sir.
Been on the show today? Wow. I mean, when I hear you about your black,
Man,
you always
man, don't give me hard.
now which hotel you in? So I looking over you like
Mama, you badly me, eh? Okay.
Brother Richard saying, how you doing? I want to say thank you very much, guys. Sintomani, I do not want to interrupt Senator Jeremiah Kuhn program. I have another meeting to attend, but I want to say what is prevailing out there, a lot of you fully aware. I wish I have opportunity to explain. You know me very well. I love to talk. But because things are legal, and like our brother Musa Bedete will always say, the law should be the law. We have to restrain ourselves, be directed by our legal team. At the appropriate time, we address the situation. I like to say, always, I'm here sitting where I usually sit. My family is doing well. I am doing well. And there's nothing to say. Where is the CEO? Spoon Talk will continue as always. We will be on the show as always because we commit ourselves to this process. We have committed ourselves accordingly, and we will give you the best information. At the appropriate time, I will address what is in the news. It's not shocking to anybody. At the appropriate time, we must address what is out there. We must address what is in the news. To those of you that are reaching out, I say thank you. My phone number is the same. Uh, my email the same. My Instagram or Facebook information remain the same. I say thanks for reaching out. I am well. I am home. I am fine. There's nothing have changed. Nothing have changed. My family is doing extremely well. So I want to say, good to see you. We will follow with the story, and trust me, I'm tempted right now to go into the story. But again, I should just restrain myself and say but much. You heard it, you have seen it, it's out there on social media, it's in the newspaper, but all is well from my end, all is well. Do not panic. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for your encouragement. We welcome everything. We will be doing Spoon Talk as usual. Thank Dr. Richie Singh, Chairman Benson, Vincent Tumalin George, Dr. Henry Peabody, Kev Hassan, Eugene Fagon, the entire management of Spoon Network, Titi Cannon, Patricia Dapo, Emmanuel Cotu, every one of them, James Good, Flomo, they have reached out. And folks that surprisingly, they usually don't call me, they are reaching out likewise. We are in this together, and you will get the full truth. And we pray all shall be well and all will be well. I want to say I shouldn't interrupt Jeremiah Kuhn program tonight. He coming swinging. He coming to tell the Liberian people that he will be running for president because Prince Johnson have blessed him. No. I'm just kidding. Jeremiah Kuhn, that's your show, and we appreciate you being in studio. But for now, guys, I have another meeting. I will come back. I'm not leaving. I'm on the show. I have questions for Jeremiah Kuhn. I will be back to continue on the program. But for now, let me allow the show to be the show. All right. Sintomani, I think you moderating, right?
Yeah.
I know you're moderating. So we said thank you. Take courage. It is well. It is well. There's nothing that you should worry about. God is in control. It is well. And we say thanks to everyone. So I'll be back.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you, CEO. You guys have heard from him, and so we'll continue our show. Senator Kuhn, since because of time, we will just wrap up so we can
Okay.
start around questioning.
So like I said, by 2003, when the Army guy came and asked who owned the place, they called my name. And when I came, they were living on Cottington by then. So I went there, and he asked me, "You own the place?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Not possible. All the children I see here fighting war. How can you own such a place?" I said, "I own it." He said, if you present the document and you own it, we'll take it." So I said, "Okay." And when I brought a document, presented a deed, and he told me we'll take the place. Army took that place in 2003 and paid me $10,000 US every month. Every month from 2003 to 2014. As I was getting the money, I'm not eating it, I'm a business guy, I started investing. By 2006, the guy left the country. Because everybody was spending 1 year. 2004 he left. So 2005, 6, I'm doing well. I got a coastery, I got pharmacy, building material store. I got different businesses. 2006, I decided to go to school. Everybody was like, "My man, you're doing well. You got money. Where are you going to school for?" I said, "I will go." And what motivated me was my friends that we all graduated in 2001. When they come from Maria, the intellectual last thing they did school, I can talk, but I can buy the beer. I didn't know they one university I myself would go. So I went cutting down. And when the first semester ended, I drive into town, and the guy called me and said, "Do you have a passport?" The same guy. I said, "Yes." I never had a passport anywhere, but I said, "Yes." He said, "Okay, go to town, get your passport to DHL, and send it to Ghana, to this address, the Danish embassy address. They'll give you a visa, and you'll visit me." I went to foreign ministry, got my passport quick, took it to to DHL, fill in the form, they sent it, they gave me visa. Though I haven't seen the place, they brought it back. And I flew to Europe for the first time in my life, 2006. When I got there, driving around, I go out for a small car, they say 400. I go out for a truck, 2,000, 3,000. I said, "By wasting my time." I flipped to the other business. I saved some money. I started buying used cars, selling. One day I passing and go ask for a tanker. I saw the tanker cheap. So I bought two and brought it to sell. But there's a guy who was managing total contract. He told me he want rent it. So they're renting a truck for me, hauling fuel from Mita. The first month, my man, I'm making almost 14,000 from one truck. I said, "But there's a good business." So I jumped into it. I had about 32 tankers. I had the biggest petroleum transporting company here. So I grew big in business. I was one of those on the stage and doing extremely well until 2010. When one of my friends, they called Gabriel Doma, he's in Minnesota now. We sitting down there, we're not doing the style, we all chat. They made them come in, maybe representative. And then I got in politics, got elected, came to town, and that's it.
Thank you, Senator Jeremiah Kwon. Thank you. We've at least Liberians have gotten to know more about you, who you are, and at least you have introduced yourself to Liberian people. But the chairman is in Liberia, so the chairman, he wants to ask his questions because the chairman data finishing. So let me give the chairman the chance to. I think the data should be finished. The chairman, that's more man. The data should be finished at all. But go ahead, chairman. You can start with your questions for the.
Is it my data finishing?
I can never finish.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
But why are you doing the kitchen time?
I'm not in the kitchen. I'm in the. My man, if I'm going to leave me,
the kitchen cabinet behind you.
If I'm not going to explain to you what are you trying to get me to explain? So I'm not going to do it.
Because the kitchen cabinet, you can't see the
whatever. Whatever. But Senator Kwon, it's good to see you. I hopefully we'll get a chance to meet tomorrow. I know we had a previous engagement. I was just a little tied up today. Just want to say thank you for coming. And I'm just going to jump into this thing, man. You are the new first of all, congratulations on your election as political leader and standard bearer of the Movement for Democratic. Is it Movement for Democratic Reconstruction or something? What the MDR stand for? The MDR for the
Movement for Democracy
and Reconstruction. Yes, congratulations on your election as standard bearer. So I want to ask you a quick question, just straight to the point. Are you indeed going to be on the ballot in 2023, or is this what people may want to call a diversion to be able to raise the stakes going into the elections in October? Are you going to be on the ballot as president? Are you going to be running for president?
Okay, so this is what I would say to you. We went to our convention. I was elected as a political leader. My party has asked me to contest. Discussions are going on. And you can be assured that once the discussions are concluded, I will speak to you in affirmative.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. My last question, it's a there's a political answer, but I accept it. Let me ask you this question. I recently saw something on the news. I saw Wilfred Bangura, who is I want to believe he's your former your former Secretary General of your party. I saw Wilfred Bangura. I saw there's been this thing in the news that MDR has split, right? We have Senator Prince Johnson, who happens to be, I don't know, we can call him your former standard bearer or standard bearer emeritus, who is saying that you guys have withdrawn your support from the CDC. But then there is other stalwarts of the party who are saying that that's not the case. So effectively rendering what we may see as a split party. As standard bearer of the party, as political leader of the party, can you speak to that? Is MDR united? Is there a problem in MDR? And are we looking at a situation where we may have the party splitting in two, you guys one side and the other side, and the other guys one side?
No, the party is not split. We are together. Obviously, at this point, when things get tough because of job and other things, people will say what they can say. But the party is together, and we are strong, and we are moving. And people will come. Since my election, there are a lot of people that have joined the party, a lot of people expressing interest. Some people will leave, and it's normal in politics. You know that, Ben.
All right, thank you.
Dr. Richardson?
Hi, Senator Cohn. Thank you for such a powerful story. I got to learn a lot of resiliency on your part. My question to you is, you are now serving in several leadership capacities in our country. You're a senator. People are now electing you to be standard bearer for your party. Can you tell us some of your challenges in terms of being the leader of those parties and some of your successes?
Okay, so to be a leader of a political party in Liberia is a challenging one. I mean, too many talks. Some people come in to lie to you. Some people got their own game, so they bring different story about somebody. But being the person I am, I don't waver easily. I take calculated risks. I've been doing that all my life. And so I think I'm strong. I can face it. It's challenging, but I think I'm prepared for it because I went through the process before I got here.
Doris, you got another question for him?
Yeah. So, I'm sorry about this question. I was just listening and writing down a timeline of your life because I thought it was a fascinating, interesting story. Can you tell us a little bit about, your schooling? I came back to the place where it says 2001, you graduated from high school, I believe, and then you decided to go to college and you went to Covington. Something tells me about, the requirement for leadership consists of life experience, like you have abundance of them, and also some academic experience. So can you tell me a little bit about how, that background of having limited academic experience can be a challenge sometimes when it comes to leadership?
Okay, so like I said to you, when I went to Buchanan, I attended a demonstration school and later ended up in the WPL Bronski United Methodist School. I was in the first grade in that school, promoted to the second grade. Second grade, I dosed my class. I was given scholarship until I finished elementary. Unfortunately, walking the senior year. And so I went through all I went through. When I got to Guinea in the 90s, then I started school again. And after some time, I came back to Liberia and went to Yene High School, where I graduated from the 12th grade 2001. And then I have to work from 2001 to 2006 before I go back to school. because I was taking care of myself, taking care of my mom, taking care of my brothers and my sister.
Okay.
I went to Cottington, I did management accounting. And so I know money business.
Senator Kuhn, and how were you, my brother? Your life experience, that you went through, make you a strong man, make you a better man today in life. So you should be proud of yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah, from where you came from to now. I want to ask you this. Can you please tell me some of the recent development in the past 2, 3 years in terms of the role in NIMBA, some of the things that the Bandian can boast of, or some of those developments? Can you just tell us in your
Oh, definitely. I've been in the legislature since 2011. But sometime 2012 or 13, I might be wrong with a year, but I throw numbers out there. We had an argument about Mita doing the road, and Mita agreed to do the road from Gompa to Yekepa, and I think they committed $40 million road. The road started by the Bola, other things. Up to today, the road is 80% to Saninkole. Maybe the next 20% it will be done. But Saninkole Yekepa is still zero. Also, I think 2016 or so, there was a loan we ratified about the road from Saninkole to Loguato, the border with Cote d'Ivoire. The ground was broken and the work started. Government changed. President Weah came. The road is on now. And the road is maybe 30-40%. And they are on there, they're moving. The road from Gompa to Saclay-Pierre in 2020, I've made a trip to the Tapetan area, and all the people had to say to me was, if you can do our road, we'll vote for you. So I came and spoke to Mr. McGill at the time, and Twair, and I surely spoke to the president. And then we agreed that there would be $10 million in the budget to start that road, because the road was a major highway. So the first $10 million were committed. We broke the ground, the president and myself. The road is on now to Saclay-Pierre, and I think it's almost 40%. Yeah. Also in 2016, we passed a loan, a grant to do cocoa in Nima and other counties by an entity called IFA. And to do some part of Nima, we did another $9 million, I think, in 2018. I say this because I wrote most of the report. And the project is going on, the Dream Road, cocoa, and other stuff. Yeah, so there's some work going on in Nima.
So at this moment, you can say your relationship with the executive branch to do some work in Nimba at this moment, you can say is progressing.
Oh, yeah. We all have to work together as a government. I came to speak for my country. The president is the head of the country. I got to love it for my country.
So you satisfied? You satisfied?
With roads and things, I will not say satisfied because I would want all the roads in my pave. But to some extent, we try.
Okay. Thank you.
Fagon?
Good evening, Senator Kuhn.
Good evening, Fagon.
Yeah, and congratulations on your election as the head of your party, the MDR. Before I go to my question, I don't know if you have a pen in studio, because when you write a book, you got a lot of people that will contribute. Some people want to give you the title of the book. Some people want to tell you the first stuff. Me, I just want to tell you, when you put the first 10 people together, just make sure my own suggestion that the
Thank you.
runaway, the runaway boy who became president. That's the
Thank
title
you.
of the book. The runaway
Thank-
boy who became president. Just
Thank
read it
you.
there. I'm my own suggestion. So I know the book will be written. President means when you VP or you PO, that is seen president or president, whether you V of these are second or president. But
I know.
anyways, I think you are about to change the course of our political history. And the reason why I say so, normally, we have never had a political leader in the history of our country that was not placed on the ballot, but gave an answer like you did, that we're in discussion. If you are the political leader in our country, all we know, you will either be the standard bearer. This is the first time that a person says, yes, I am the political leader, but we are in discussions as to, me being on the ballot. So let me ask you this. Your political leader said emphatically that you, the political leader of the MDR, will be on the ballot.
You mean a former political leader?
The former political leaders, thank you for the correction, in 2023. So if you say we're in discussions, are you suggesting a discussion within your party or a discussion with other political parties that might lead to an alliance, a coalition, or a merger that will probably see you not on the ballot, but a person you support on the ballot? Which one of the two? Is it within your party, or the discussion is with other political entities?
So the discussion is with other political entities. Remember,
Okay.
no one person can win election here. Let nobody fool you. Look, I won election in school. At Cottington, I was president of my class. I became representative 1. I became representative 2. I became senator. I know the formula for winning. It's not just to run to the press and announce. Since we came, I've not spoken. You got to cross all the T and dot all the I's. So when that ticket come out, it can be a ticket that will win. And so I just came from Nema on Tuesday. I'm having all levels, talking to different people, different stakeholders, because when we conclude, we must win. To go for it, you can win. It's not a good venture. It's better you don't go for it.
Okay. Given our political history as a student of political science, number 3 has already said he's on the ballot. When I say number 3, there are 3 vote-rich counties in the Republic. In the first place is Montserrado. Second is the county from which you're from and the birthplace of the MDR. Third is Bong County. And so fourth will be Lofa County. Well, Lofa County in fourth position says, I will be on the ballot. And he's a formidable force compared to President Weah, who in the past we know said Montserrado was a stronghold, right? But again, you now from the second most populous county with the votes. I don't want to ask you which one of the political parties, because you already said you're in discussion with all of them. If you consider Lofa, Bong, and Mimba, all three of you are in the opposition. All 3 of you are in the opposition. You are from Nimba, JMB is from Lofa, Prince Moi, Henry Topa, and Madam Joa Howard Taylor from Bong, but she's always outnumbered by the people in the opposition from Bong. So you're really looking at the 3 vote-rich counties in our country to be strictly opposition, leaving out Monserrado. Have you thought about that? And are you considering that in your discussions with political parties, that numerically it will be expedient in your discussion to consider that? Have you thought about that?
I'm thinking about everything. Look, I told you I grew up in Bassa. I spent some time in Bassa. So
Another one again.
I speak Bassa well. I
Mm.
live in a house with my auntie. My grandmother lived in the house, my father, mother. So I speak the Gribble. I also speak the Mano. I also speak the Gio. Even in the Southeast, discussions are going on. Every county in Bassa, people are on the ground. So like I said, I wouldn't give you my strategy, but when it takes shape, you will see it, and it will go for it, we'll get it.
No further questions. The Senator's playbook.
Other people, any question for the senator?
Senator Cohen, thank you for your wonderful testimony. Great one. Let me ask you, now you the head of the MDR. What is your relationship with the CDC party? Are you guys going to remain in the coalition, or what are you going to do now?
Okay, so prior to my taking over, Senator Johnson, then political leader, pulled out of the coalition. I was interested in seeing documentation, whether there were documents that, look, we are joining the coalition, nothing as such. And what I was told by the former political leader is that during the second round of the election, I remember that time, there were negotiations to support JMB and to support President Weah. And finally, the senator took President Weah. I took JMB. So I went the JMB way. So the details of some of the papers they put together are very involved, because already on the other side. But what I was told by Senator is the sign of paper that, look, President Weah will support you. You'll give, I think, 4 or 5 ministry, 4 or 5 deputy ministerial position, assistant ministerial position, public cooperation, ambassadorial position, and the list go on. And he signed. That list was carved by one Councillor Gibson, I think, who was the Minister of Labor today, and the late Zio Mensah, one councillor who died. So the both of them did the list according to Senator Johnson, the former political leader. He signed, and the president signed. Even during the formulation, some of those things I weren't around. But before I took over, Senator Johnson withdrew from the CDC already before I took over. So his support was verbal, and the withdrawal was verbal.
All right, my second question. Are you considering renegotiating with them to come back into the coalition? What is they didn't promise you? They promised you 30 or what position? And you guys, no, they promised you some position. I was trying to compare you to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. They promised you some position and they did not give it to you. Do you believe that if you guys negotiate now, you're going to get this position for the next term, or you guys are still considering coming back to them? Are you guys negotiating?
There's no discussion as such, so I wouldn't want to speak to it.
There's been rumors that financial part have been involved. If they give you guys the funding, will you guys consider?
So rumor will all be rumor. The first thing, the judge sanctioned my former political leader for something they call pay for play. So they gave you money, then you committed that crime already. You pay for play. You mean and me, you wanted to sanction me? No, I can't pay for play.
Good answer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's a
Senator,
good one. That's a good
Senator
answer.
Coon, in 2020, the population of the registered voters in Nima was 302,843. You have 9 electoral districts, and Nima County represents 12% of our population of, at the time, for the registered voters, 2,476, 2,476,356 registered voters. That's why it makes Nima very important in the political arena, in the political calculation of our country. But I'd like to be direct with you. Right now, we are at a crucial stage. Right now, it is all set. President Weah is and Vice President Taylor will be running on the ticket of the coalition. But right now, former Vice President Boyka and Mr. Cummings, Tewan Gonglo, they are all still without a VP. But have you been in talks? Because I listened to your former leader, Senator Johnson. He said you guys are in talks with the ANC and the UP. To what extent you guys are in talks with the ANC and the UP?
To the extent that we are all discussing across the country.
Okay, I know you. Okay, but I'll come back again. But Mr. Cummings approached you to be a running mate, or also Mr. Boyka?
Assuming we are admitting that was the case, it was not for the public.
Jay Coon been going through some political trainings.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Senator Coon.
The man prepared. The man ready.
Okay, it is true that I listened to President Weah, Senator Johnson. He said that President Weah asked you not to run. It is true. Can you confirm whether he asked you not to run?
Again, if it was true or false, it was not for the public.
Okay. Senator Chairman Assembly, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I may have to run soon, so I want to throw something in quickly. Senator Coon, let me ask you another direct question. Can you emphatically say that the NDR, which you are a political leader of, and you as political leader and standard bearer, will either feature on the ballot in 2023 as president or as vice president? Can you emphatically say that that is going to happen? That I will either be presidential candidate or I will either be vice presidential candidate? Can you definitively say that?
So I have a mandate from a party to run for the presidency. Discussions are going on. Nobody walk to somebody and say, please make me vice president. You do that to me, I will not even take you. And so, like I said, discussions are going on. One matter is Liberia. And anything that we can do to get this country okay, I'll be involved with.
So again, you are not
I have a mandate party to run for the presidency. That's a mandate.
So you will be
party.
So you will be on the ballot. So can you confirm you will be on the ballot in 2023?
So
Can you confirm
discussions
that?
are going on, and everything is possible. Number one.
Okay, good. Let me ask you my other one. Can you also be emphatic that you have ruled out a collaboration with the CDC?
So again, like I said to you, the CDC has never approached me. And so there's no need to talk about CDC here.
Okay, so I think that's a fair answer, but I still want to dig a little deeper. If the CDC reaches out to you tomorrow, are you willing to talk to the CDC? Are you willing to collaborate with the CDC?
So let's see what the discussion will be like first. Then we'll talk about it. But there's no discussion here.
So you're willing. So you are open. So the answer is you are open.
The fact is, nobody's enemy here. We're not fighting war. It's about the country. It's just that people got different formula of seeing the country better. So anybody can talk to us.
Okay. So you're open to all sides. That's what I'm getting from this, right?
Answer your way.
Oh, my man, you didn't guess.
Ben, I told you CDC and I approached me.
Are you open?
What man, I told you, no, we ain't
Yeah,
fighting
no,
war.
but that's why I said it was
So
hypothetical. So,
everybody, if the president called
so
me
you
today
open
on
to
the
talk
phone,
to everybody,
I
CDC
come to
or
you. I'm a
opposition or
senator.
everybody. You open to talk to all of them.
I'm a
You
senator.
open to talk to everybody.
I'm a senator on Nima. They elected me for me and the president to work together for the betterment of this country. The president has a 6-year
No,
mandate.
no. I'm not gonna let you.
If the
I'm
president
not gonna
called
let you
me,
get away with that.
Let me finish.
No, I'm not, Senator. I'm not gonna let you get away with that. I'm sorry. I'm not talking
I'm not.
about your role as senator. I know your role as senator requires you to talk to the
So you're
president.
talking
I
support
know your role as senator requires you. Yeah, but let me finish that, Chief. Let me finish. You know,
Right.
me and you got meeting tomorrow. Let me finish. Yeah,
That's
let
it.
me finish. Me and you got meeting tomorrow. So we'll talk all the other things. But let me say this. I know your senator role requires you to talk to the president. I know your senator role requires you to stand next to the president to dedicate projects. I know all of that. The question that I'm asking specifically is, are you open to collaborate with any political party in Liberia, including the CDC? That's the question I'm asking.
So I would say to you again, we're having discussions with other parties. The CDC has said nothing to us. We were there before we pull out. So I don't know. I can't answer it further than that.
Thank you.
Erudition?
Yeah, I want to go off by something that you said, which is anything that we can do to make this country okay. Senator Cohn, is Liberia okay or not okay?
Okay, in terms of can you come back?
You used the word okay. It is your word that I'm using, giving back to you. So however you define okay is what I'm referring
Did you
to.
say I said Liberia is okay?
You said anything we can do to make Liberia, this country, okay. That's the word that you use. So
Obviously, the country is not okay. There are issues. Too many issues.
Can you elaborate, please?
Security is one thing. We got security issue. We got health issue. We got education issue. We
Can
got
you
too
please
many.
elaborate, sir? Security is for our mom Miriam to understand. When you say security, what do you mean? When you say health issue, what do you mean? When you say education issue,
So if you took health,
mm-hmm.
if you went to a government hospital
Mm-hmm.
and there were no drugs, and you got to buy medicine from a nurse in her bed, or there's a private pharmacy across the road, there are issues. If you have to buy your own needle and syringe in the hospital before you take injection, there are issues. Is that okay?
So I'm asking you. So the fact that you have to buy your own medicine in a country, that means that the country is not okay. Is that what you're referring to?
No, the form and manner. I'm one of those who believe that people should buy medication in the hospital. I've said that. I've spoken to the health minister. I've spoken to almost everybody. And there's my thinking. I believe medicine cannot be free. That's politics. It's not true. If you went to the hospital, there are two major sectors of the hospital. The diagnostic center and the pharmacy. Then the doctor come to. I believe the government should find an entity, a Liberian company also, that can take care of all government pharmacy and government regulated price, and the people pay minimum amount. I give you an example. If you went to Broad Street now, to BK Pharmacy or Abia Pharmacy, I will use paracetamol as a case study. A box of paracetamol is $5. I mean, the guy bought it maybe in India for $2, $3, transporter a custom, and maybe he making $1 or $1.50 as profit. There are 100 scripts in that box. They retail it in a pharmacy $50 for one. So they are selling it 5,000 Liberian dollars after sale retail, but you buy it $5, which is, let's give it 200 rate for dollar, $1,000. I believe if the government can find an entity to take over the hospital and regulate the prices, they can tell that pharmacy or the entity to sell paracetamol at $20 in the hospital instead of $50. At $20, you still make $2,000. So if you're making $2,000 and spending $1,000 to buy it, you still got $1,000 excess. The person will have to take maybe 50% of that amount for other overhead costs. The other 50% go to the hospital. They go into the hospital can use it to buy equipment, reagent for laboratory stuff, and other things. You go to the lab, the government should regulate the price and get somebody to take over the lab and pay a minimum amount in the lab. When we do that, we'll have control. The issue of fake drugs will be under control. People will have full, and the death rate will reduce. You will not pay to see doctor. If you are admitted in the hospital, you will not pay for it. All you do is to pay for your diagnosis and your medication. When we do that, we'll have a better health system and will work for us. Other than anything other than that, say government put money in something for health, and those are all politics.
Kev? Senator, let me ask you this direct question. Most of the things that I used to work most, it's not and all the things, but most of the things that you asked the executive branch, the president, the minister, Swear and McGill, and so McGill at that time, were given to you to help the people of Nimba, correct?
What you call most of the things?
No, like things
So
that
you
you
have one row.
like the roads, the other things.
One row, contact secretary.
That's the only thing you asked for?
The only thing. All the other thing I asked for, I didn't get it.
Like what?
I'm a senator. Recommendation to appoint 1 or 2 person in government, 0.
No, I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the deal between you guys. I'm talking about the people of Nimba. The people of Nimba.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking
No,
about.
no. I'm not talking about what I'm talking about. Right? I'm not talking about. Your position for member of your party. Of course, there are Nimba people, but I'm talking about people who like you represent. That's what I'm talking about. Because like the road, right? The people who you represent benefiting for that road, right?
Oh, definitely. The whole country benefit that road.
They benefited. So I'm talking about them.
Not only Nimba, the whole country benefit. That road is the major corridor to the southeast. When that road get cut up, a gallon of gasoline is almost $2,000-3,000 in the southeast. So the road going there will also help our people on that side too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The reason, and I'm not going to the discussion on the table between the MDR and the government. You see, discussion is ongoing, so I don't want to go into that. But I just want to focus on the people, the common people, not minister position and all that. So that's why I'm asking you some of the things there. So beside the road, have you asked for any other thing beside the road? Because you say the road that you asked for, you got it. So beside the road, any other thing you asked for?
We asked for the hospital in Sannicole. So the hospital in Sannicole now is right by the railway. So when the train passing, most time it blow or you get pressure, you die. We asked for it to be transferred to a different place. Somebody get all that. It haven't been done.
Okay, so you asked for in the Senate, or you go directly to who you asked for? You asked.
You said ask for it in the Senate?
Yeah, did you ask for it? Did you try to put it and in the Senate, or you talk to somebody directly to say, hey?
Oh, we talked to the Ministry of Health. We talked to the Ministry of Finance. The agency are government responsible.
You talk to them. What
Yeah.
they say?
It haven't been done. Maybe resources or other things, but it haven't been
What
done.
they say to you? What they say to you?
Who?
What they said to you?
It haven't been done. That's what I can say.
What was the comment to you when you asked them?
It's a good thing, but money.
Okay.
Okay.
I just listened to the senator before I kind of forgot. The senator, your health, you know, I've been listening to you carefully. The questions you did, answers you giving. Your health, you have a very great health plan, though. If your health plan for the country is something very interesting. But I think because you just when answering that recent question about the health issues, I think you give some good points there. But in other words, the present health plan is almost like into politics, but I just wanted to recognize that. If I can go ahead.
Well, I think Senator Kuhn, you can see me. I just gave you 4 points right up here for health. Maybe you could make me join the MDR tonight.
Please, John.
Because as you can see, I gave 4 points on health. You just broke it down simple. Why are people going to the hospitals and dying when we can just use our own senses and begin to make our hospitals or our healthcare system a better place where things can be cheaper? I saw you supporting Senator Sir Joseph when he said, we give 11 million in the budget for rice. Had we used it to grow our own rice, we wouldn't be talking here. But at the same time, the people you give rice money to go bring rice, the rice comes here and they're sold for a higher price. Whereas, besides, doing mechanized farming and doing our own stuff, if we had ordered our own rice, we would be selling rice at 15 and just give it to business entity that would deposit the money up front and then we can regulate the price. Rice is our staple food. You are the new political leader. I can't come here and ask you what are your plans. No, because you're putting together your plan right now. But what are your thoughts on agriculture? Why are we hungry? Help us.
This is my thought.
4 points already on me.
There's my thought. So we're buying from this company, India or somewhere, millions of dollars. Can we sit with that thing company? Look, we're buying 10,000 bags of rice per year. I just throwing numbers.
Yes.
Can we provide a land for you in Liberia? Instead of shipping the rice, grow the rice here. We can reduce the price of the shipping costs and other things, and we'll still buy the rice from you and supply other farmers. Come and get all the swamp in the country and everything to them. Same market, the only difference is we are telling you, move the technology here, grow the rice here, instead of growing it there, and we transporting it. We still got customer, we still got the dealership with you and everything. Don't give money. Government should not import rice. You will not see it. Government is not a good manager in Liberia. Government is not a good manager. You need a private sector to handle that. But the government can talk to the same people that growing the rice. Get them here, give the land, and because they got the land, they can grow the rice. Liberians will have job. People will go on the farm to work. Some people will learn how to move the machine. And then we can grow the rice right here. We could supply Guinea, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone from right here. That would be my thought. But to give money, to say government go buy rice and can sell, don't waste your time, my brother. A long story.
Okay. Another follow-up question to that. We've seen a situation with our disadvantaged brothers and sisters who are referred to as Zugos. Alien government, technically I saw nothing. They were never housed. They were never rehabilitated. They were never reintegrated. They've been left and they are drug abusers. Now, there are two questions here in one. One, if the source of the substance is destroyed, you and I know the population or the users will decrease. If the source of the substance is destroyed, the end users' population will decrease, and even the yearning for it will cease astronomically. But we see the drugs coming to the country, and we see the increase in the number of persons taking drugs. Even on the school campuses now, it's spreading like wildfire. There's no place, no programs, in my opinion, from the government, except recently they graduated 35 persons. You got to say thank you to them. But what is 35 out of 35,000? That's next to zero. So what are your thoughts in terms of drug abuse, substance abuse, and the proliferation of substances on our streets, or if you like, in our country? Two things. What are your thoughts?
So one, we've been discussing the drugs law. I have said to my colleagues, the law is good, but without the infrastructure, the law wouldn't work. So the first thing, we need to invest into prison compound. If I was to make the final decision, maybe we can move in because of it being an emergency. We can move in pre-fire home. All we do, we build a very high fence, very high that nobody can get out. Maybe circle 200-300 acres of land and put pre-fire home and open some carpenter shop, some agricultural area and other stuff. Take the guys from the street, take them there. You got clinic, everything in there. If you don't graduate, maybe you can do some kind of, you can fit chair or some kind of thing. You're not coming out. Then the law says the people who bring in it is non-bailable, and when we arrest you, you'll be in jail until it can be proven that you are not involved. If we do that, we can get it, and we do a lot of awareness. Let me tell you about the drugs. A lot of children get involved with the drugs. They don't know. Most of the Zogo, they're not children that fought war. These are young children going to high school now. The substance is such that your friend can tell you, my man, taste it, man. They're in high school. I mean, you're not real boy, can't taste it. When you taste that thing, one drag, you are addicted. When you start to leave your body, the beginning can call it the man juicing. At that point, you need to take it. You need to take another dose to keep you stable. That way they can check your phone or your bag in the day because they're juicing.
Yeah.
So we need to follow up on those who bring in the drugs. When we get them, that deal with them to the fullest. When you know the country, when you deal with the first 1-2%, everybody will lead the road. I bring a scared set of people. There are people who can stand tension, but one example. When the example is set, everybody, I give you an example. They were grading road in Uganda. The mayor, if not in America, he was doing the road. And the road came directly to my mother's house. And there are a lot of houses in the road, but my mom's house is the first house. So everybody was watching whether they would bust my mom's house. My mom said they can't bust her house or son I represented it. And they're making the poor call me. They said, Chidi, where we stop? Because your mom's house is in the road. And she said, "Mo pasa." I said, "You're bossy. You give her the phone." She took the phone. I said, "Pack your things and leave." Where I will go, I said, "I stay in the car. They will bring you Morovia to me from Uganda." And she got her thing out. They put her thing in the truck and they bust the house. When they hit the house, all the other people started moving their things. My mom live with me here today. She stay in the house with me now as I speak with you. So you just need to set some example. When you do that, people will know that we are serious. But you grab people, they get into jail, they've managed their way out, the next day they're in the community, everybody's everything that's serious thing, man. Yeah, that continue our stuff.
Just quick follow-up to that. Quick follow-up, Tobalin, thank you. One of your kinsmen from Nimba brought about that idea you just explained. And the people from my district, they went district in Dime area there, gave him, I think, 25 acres of land. He went and found the company that was going to open this magnificent prison-like city, but it was actually a prison. Once you go in, hospital, clinic, multilateral school, everything. It was supposed to be financed for between $25 to $30 million. And the people were willing to pre-finance it. His name is Honorable Marco Tike. When he brought the plan to me, I looked at the plan, took the plan to our government, said it was the best thing that had ever happened. I know what the Ghanaians can do. The Ghanaians will say, oh, you will do it? Yeah, do it. Because if we don't pay you, you can't root it or carry it. If we don't, but we found a way to be paying you small. I think that guy walked around till he went off and I washed my hands. So once again, congratulations for such brilliant ideas. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator, before I go to people, Senator Kuma, look, I'm telling you, I'm getting a lot of positive stuff on you, and no matter which ticket you are on, whether you're there as vice president or president, that ticket will be a formidable ticket. I can tell from what I'm getting, making a lot of sense. You are talking about the private sector, how we should invest in the private sector, and also your agricultural plan, your health plan, and people are buying to it. You got great ideas. I just hope you put it into your into blueprint so that people can start to get to know it and sell it to the people of Liberia, because you make a lot of sense tonight. People, go ahead.
Chairman Cohn, let me ask you this question. If you elect to stand a bearer to contest an election, what is one thing you're going to do that you believe this government should have done and have not done?
One, privatize electricity. If that government generate electricity and privatize electricity. You go to America, GE, most of these companies, I believe, are private companies. When you got issue, in a few minutes, it's done. We cannot live in water and we don't have water in our homes. That government generate water. That private people sell water. If you do these things, you make Liberians millionaires. Some people will become millionaires. There will be a middle class.
You told 10 point now.
My next question to you, Senator Cohn, the issue of corruption is very systemic in that country. Even the 8-year-old boy, they all just send in the bar, they'll see your change and they will do things and stuff like that. Police compromise, judiciary system is compromised in some sense. How do you plan to fight corruption? Do you think you'd be in a position to audit the previous government, whoever, if you win the election?
So let me say this to you. Most of the corruption around here is difficult to catch. A few person you grab. If Peabody was the Minister of Public Works, you put out a bid for row X. I'm company A, and Tammany company B, Francais company C. We went for the bid, and the road cost $300 million. And Peabody asked for company B, you'll win the contract, but you get 10%. So it means you gotta go bring if that $300 million, maybe about 300,000 now. That money coming to you, coming in the bag. No receipt of it. So the next hour, anybody ask, if I came by and say I gave you 300,000, I can prove it. That's why I think if I were president, the first place I would start is my budget would be detailed to the extent that it explains itself. We saw the Bay 100 school. Each of the school cost 25,000. The 100 locations must be in the budget. We're not going to put a buck figure, say 10 million on school. No. If we're doing road, and we got 20 million and a 20-kilometer road, we're doing 2 in Bombing, 3 in Nima, 7 in Greenville, 4 in Maryland. It got to be spelled out and the cost and which road. If I'm the president, I will get a computer room. Appropriation will be on the computer, allotment on the computer, financial budget on the computer, check pay all on the computer. If appropriation and allotment is not balancing, you can explain to me. If allotment and financial budget is not balancing, you will tell me what happened. If financial budget and checks to payment is not corresponding, you will talk to me and tell me what happened. We have to get a Liberian solution to solve Liberian problem. Look, in the West, everything is electronic. So 90% of people that go to the restaurant in America, the people know. Because you go eat, you swipe. It register in our system. Who knows how many person bought food in Riverside today? Who knows how many person went to kosher in Babulu? You can't get it. Because in fact, there's no bank. And that's some of the things the Liberian that we printer is now on the market. Because the people are not taking their money to the bank. Simple reason. People are money changer. Jeremiah got his store. Fagon maybe doing gold or rubber. So people sell. Jeremiah can sell today, get a Liberty. I'm selling Liberian. So the Liberty rate today is 160. The rate can change any moment, upward or downward. So if you came to buy rice from me $20 and the rate is 150, I calculate 150, you pay me $3,000. I want to get the money straight to Peabody and get a $20 from him, because if the money slip, it could go to 152. It means a loss. So the business people are not taking the money to the bank because keeping it there is risky. 1, 2 there, the rate could jump. And if it jump by 10, 15, 20%, you lost all your profit. So they're buying straight from money changer. Bank don't sell US dollar easily, unless it's under extreme circumstances. So Peabody got his Liberty in your hand. He looking for US to buy. He ain't carrying it to no bank. So if I go come from Bummy where it go, he came to sell Maria. He looking for Liberian now to go back to Bummy. So he take it to Peabody. Peabody getting the Liberty. He gone. The next day I sell, I get you. If I go come, he take it. So it's a circle. So the money is not going to the bank. All the money Fagon moving, no bank in Bummy where he digging the gold. So you check Fagon room. Fagon get over 10 million in the room when we're looking for a way to get money from the bank. The new money is printed. We're waiting for Fagon 10 million to come to the bank so we can change and bring some new money out. It's not happening. So right now people are complaining. The money is not in the market. It's not in the bank. And we are under the bank policy says they will use the banking system to change the money. It will not work. The bank system will work in America. There are few counties that got bank in Liberia. Maserado, Nima, now all Nima said Ganta. It go way Butu, nothing there. It go way probably a zero. If you went way in Bapolu, nothing. And so majority of the counties no bank. All the money in the homes. How would that money get to the bank for bank to exchange it to new money? My idea, if I were president, I would negotiate maybe with the Ghanaian government or the Nigerian government and negotiate a helicopter get an AFL, get a police, and move the money in counties. I gave maybe 3 weeks, 1 month. If you don't bring the money out, that false money, we're not using it again. Or 2 months. And
My
people
way is strong.
will
My way is
change that
strong.
money, and all the old money will go back to the bank, and the new money will get out. Sense. I hope I try.
My way there where?
Wow, look,
You talking like a presidential candidate, though.
I must admit, you're scoring.
the senator,
My way
look,
is
let me say
strong.
this. Let me say this. You use geopolitics, and you are talking about people-centered budget, and you talking about results-based budget. Especially, I mean, look, people are impressed about you. But let me ask a question to you, right? Have you guys the national budget is about? You guys about to discuss the national budget, the next fiscal budget? I think by next week. Have you guys received a budget performance report from the government as required by law? If not, why?
Yes, we got budget performance. I think they brought performance report every 3 months. They submit it. Yes, I think I saw one. I came from Nehemiah. I think I saw one.
Oh,
I will
because
check and find out. I'm sure I saw
yeah,
one.
please check because by law, before you guys approve the next budget, you guys have to receive that report, that budget performance report. Before you because
Yeah, by law it should be quarterly. Every 3 months, you should tell what's happening, whether there's a shortfall. And, most time the guys tell you go on their website if they're, and I'm sure we got covered. The guys saw 3 different booklets in my office.
the budget is about to come before you. And in the last, I've seen in recent budgets, the 5 top elected officials in our country, the budget is about $15 million. And our top health institutions, the budget is about $10 million. And when the budgets come before you guys, will you guys bring in expert to come and to discuss the budget before you guys just pass it quickly? Because what we have seen in the past, you guys they pass the budget so quick, just let it go straight, and then you see the disparity in the budget. But then it's always like, so I mean, how would the budget benefit the people of Liberia, the majority of the people of Liberia, instead of just being to elected officials?
So Temani, let me say this to you: when you sit from where you sit, it's different. When you sit in that seat, it's different. Why? There are 3 branches of government. The legislature is the first branch of government. There are 73 representatives and 30 senators. To take a major decision, it requires 20 senators to stand up and say, we're not moving. To take a major decision in the House, it requires 50% to stand up and say, we're not moving. To get a number, it's more than a rock. Difficult because different reasons, party, relationship, friendship. And that's why Liberia is a presidential state. The president drives the agenda of the government and the president makes the final decision. I'll give you an example. We use our authority to jail some people in government who need my Wanako. And we declare them non-governmental material, blah, blah, blah. They took them to the prison compound. And the president called. I will not call you the president. That person should not go to jail. So the person to the jail come and tell you the jail is filled. We can't keep anybody here. We are sorry. You can't force it. Then the speaker of the protest said, take them to the police station. But the justice minister is under instruction to make sure that person doesn't go to jail. So the police station said, the jail full. No way to keep the person here. You can't keep the person in your home. The person got to go. When Madam Salih became president and she put a lapa on her shoulder, all the women put a lapa on their shoulder. When President Weah became president, he wore kosu and wore sininger. All are all wearing kosu and sininger here. The president drives the agenda of the country. The president can change the country. Any way and manner the president wants the country to shape, the country will shape in that form and manner. Because our constitution gives immense power to the president. In the other branches, it's in a lot of people, you got to keep negotiating and talking. The president is one man. He sleeps in the morning and wake up and say, why somebody wore a green jacket with strap on it and he's gone, you're gone. So it's a kind of difficult thing. That's why the president must drive the agenda of the country.
So Liberians listening out there, I hope you guys take a cue and vote. And when you're making your decision to vote for representatives and senators, the senator just said it, and I've seen it. To take a decision to vote in the interest of the people, you need 20 senators, and most of the time, like he said, people like, for example, you have majority of the lawmakers, they are from the opposition camp, but yet and still, you find out that the ruling party is driving the agenda. They hold in the top position in the Senate, in the House. Okay, when it comes to the election of leadership of the House or the Senate, the same opposition people will join the ruling party to vote for them. And like he said, whenever there's a discussion on the floor, thinking that you go as opposition unified opposition, they will go their own way. They will go and join, and that's why I think the problem has stolen most of our process. Because if he stand up tomorrow and say, "Look, we should prioritize the budget and put his budget for the benefit of the majority of the people," people will kick against it, and that's what we see happening. But Senator, I want you to make a promise: the budget performance report. I want a budget performance report on the last budget. Please promise that you give me one.
I will do that. When I check my office tomorrow, I should send it to you.
Thank you. So, guys, and then one round of questions to the Senator. Yeah.
Yes, if I can ask. Senator, your predecessor, Prince Johnson, and some people of your party have been asking the CDC government for the Nima people $7.5 million. What do you think happened to that money, or where is the $7.5 million? Do you care to explain?
Okay, so Meta still every year pay that money to government revenue, because by law, the PFN law said all money goes to government consolidated first before it get out. And sometimes these money get in the account and the government use it for other things. And because government can use them for other priorities, the money has accumulated over the period of time. And that's why you hear that big volume. Since President Weah came, I think he's paid 1 or 2 times. Some of the debt were accumulated on Madam Salif. And it's a brought forward plus what President Weah himself haven't paid yet. So those are some of the situations.
So just to clarify for the Liberian people and the Bayans that are listening to us, I'm hearing you say that this president used the Nima people money for other things. Is that correct?
Yeah, I can say the president, because the president is the one the people elected. All other persons in the government are secretary to the president, and so they work for the president. Good, the president take it. Bad, the president take it.
Do you think it was a good idea for the president to use the people of Nima money for other things as opposed to developing Nima County?
I would say no. If it were me, the same day the social development fund and other money laying in the account, it will leave the next morning. If it is soon, it will leave the same day. Because government got too many priorities, there are too many tempting things, and so you could use the money for other things. So let the money go to the people's account.
Excuse me, guys. I just have one more question for Senator Cohn. Senator Cohn, you seem
Go
to
ahead,
have,
we enjoying you.
Thank you. Thank you. You seem to have a lot of great ideas, especially about the underground economy of Liberia. Um, at any point, have you shared your ideas with the president or anyone in the country? And how did it receive your feedback that you had to the government?
Yes, I share this idea with a lot of people. Twy myself talk a lot. The Minister of Health and myself. A lot of people myself talk. But again, the country is a presidential state. Only the president can change this country. When the president wakes up in the morning, I was telling somebody, if I were president, Liberian people are R7. They see you, then they start to work. You go and visit a village, they post start brushing. So all the time they're living in the day. And everywhere at every level. So as the supervisor, the president is the supervisor. You that cook spoon in the soup that's how to stir the soup to make sure all the pepper, the salt, all balance. You got to be on your feet. No sleep, no rest. If I were president, I wake up one morning and ask the Minister of Education, I'm working for your office. 1 month. The minister desk in that corner, my desk in this corner. What are the issues here? I will call all the janitors in a closed door meeting, I alone. I want to know what happened in your talk to me. Some of the people know a lot. They may not have the opportunity to say it out there, but they know too many things because they are way down there. They're listening. There are people talking near them. Sometimes you feel that foolish people, most of the Zogo boys you see on the road are NSA people. They can report you. And so I will sit with them in a meeting, hear from them, the cleaners, the janitors. When I'm feeling with that level, I want to talk to the low level people. Then I talk to the directors. I talk to the deputy, the assistant ministers, deputy ministers. Then I sit with the minister. These are the issues. How can we solve them? Going forward, let this be this. Let this be this. We solve that problem in 2-3 weeks. I move to the Ministry of Health. I will work from the federal ministry. And the country will change.
Kev?
Senator.
Kev, is the senator giving his vision, agenda for the country?
Senator, smile a little bit, my man. You're too serious up there. At least it's on smiley face.
Oh, man, you say that to you, I'm going to smile.
Why are you smiling too? There's 7.5. You said they use it for what was the word you used for something else or something? Yeah, and 7.5 million. What specific thing they use that as a senator, because you said they use it.
So you wouldn't know. So the thing looking at one part. Kev get 1 cup of rice, put it in and somebody get 1 cup of rice, put it in everybody. So somebody dip rice from that cup. Nobody know whether that Kev rice, that rice in the pot. So one the other put I get right to the heart, they won't get already. I think happening.
Consolidated account.
But can you say it was used? Because the reason I'm asking, a lot of people hearing you, they will go on some political opportunists will jump into that. They will say, "Oh yeah, Senator Kun said they take the money, they use it, and they will start spreading it like somebody put it in their pocket." The reason why I'm asking you this, so that's not what you're saying, that somebody take it and put it in the pocket, correct?
He wouldn't know. He doesn't know.
I've been using money.
God, man. Well, sometimes you guys can just, I don't know. You see,
However, money was stirred in that pot.
I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you, Dr. Richardson. Please let me.
Senator answer. Please answer.
Yeah, you ask your question.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm not asking you, Senator Cool. Are you saying you're not saying somebody take and pull in the packet, right?
So what I'm saying to you is government use the money in one part.
Mm-hmm.
So Mr. pay the money. The government needed to pay somebody or do something. the money is not written on the NEMA money.
Mhm.
So it goes to the account. When the transfer hit, the government got salary to pay. It get 11 million to pay for rest.
Mhm.
Whether it end in somebody's pocket, what happening, what not happening, when they order will take out on for government use it.
But Senator Kuhn, you see, you can sense how the political opportunists them going to what you're saying. You see them, they're happy because they want to send a red meat. Because some of the political opportunists who
Oh, my man, Fagona opportunity.
oh yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
opportunities now because the money basing from inside the past.
no, seriously.
The consolidated account, the money
You said-
basing. So I
you
put
know
it
when you
for
say
this.
when you said, oh, maybe in somebody's pocket, and guess what they would do? They will use your word and say that's what Senator Kuhn is saying. So that's why words are matter when you judge.
Okay,
there are
let's say the
checkpoints.
people money basing.
You
There are
know.
checkpoints in other places.
Say that again.
I say obviously there are checkpoint. Money move, people will follow up how they use it.
That's a checkpoint.
If it enter in somebody's pocket, it will catch you. Other report will show.
Other
you know,
report will show. Right. But
When
you
was
see,
the last time
that's
the
what-
government was audited?
that's what you say. I don't know why they cannot be disciplined. But Senator Kuhn, you see what I'm talking about? They want you to stay there, and then they will use it. Then they will use your words against you. Then tomorrow, your colleagues will say, "Mama, you were on spoon. You tell people that."
Can don't make us look bad on the show. They've been putting the money there for 3 years for NIMBA.
You know,
All the senator said is that the money that been going in and back for 3 years is messy.
Tomlin,
So
since
don't
you
come
cannot
to
tell,
us. Yeah, but she shouldn't do that to us on the platform.
Yeah, I got one more question to ask for the
The
senator.
senator did not say they stole the money. He didn't say
Tomlin,
that.
Yeah, Kev, go ahead.
Tomlin, since you
He
cannot tell
can't do
you,
that to us. We just say now 18 hours.
Tomlin,
Please, Kev, go ahead, Kev.
since you cannot tell Fagon to shut up, I will tell him to shut up. I will tell him to keep quiet. You shut up.
Kev,
No, since you're not protecting me, that's why I come out. That's why I'm speaking.
You let you talk. Kev, go ahead now.
Yeah, but so if you don't stop, I will tell him to shut
How
up.
many
You need
questions
to
can
shut
have?
up.
Kev,
You need to shut up.
Kev, but Fagon, please let Kev.
So you need to shut up.
So we can't
You
say
know,
that. Just wait for Kev.
Shut up.
Kev, stop telling somebody to shut up, man.
Keep quiet. Seriously.
Yeah, keep quiet. Okay, keep quiet. Okay, but when you say shut up,
No, yeah, he needs to respect himself. He needs to shut up.
Man, our children are listening to you.
Yeah. No, yeah, Senator Kuhn, no. You know, when you have those kind of political opportunities, then they look for words and jump on it. You know very well if some people will stay in government and you say something like that, he will fire on you. You know very well, Senator Kuhn. You say something like that, he will fire on you. But he wants you to say it now. And that's not what you're saying. That's not what you're saying. That's why I wanted for you to clear that. You know what you're saying. It's a big pot. It's a pool. Money go there. They can use it for different things. If you go in a certain direction, there's mechanism in place to know, because you have oversight power. Correct, Senator Kuhn?
We do have oversight.
To know. That's what I'm.
Agency of government that should uncover it. We don't have the sophistication to go do the audit. We are not auditors.
You're not auditors,
When the
but
auditors find it, they bring it and we call the entity involved and ask them questions. What happened here? If it makes sense, you clear them. If it doesn't make sense, you file it to the president for prosecution.
Thank you. I rest. Go ahead.
Okay. Probably if I go.
Let me ask my last question, right? Oh, you.
Okay, go ahead, everybody.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead because it go ahead, right? It was my time, but go ahead.
Go ahead, Fago.
No,
Fago.
I'll ask my two. You want to
Okay, I just want to say,
go ahead.
Senator Kuhn, you mentioned about the president being so powerful, but then our constitution gives you a tool to keep the president's executive in check, oversight and law making, so forth. So because, like for instance, You have as a senator, you have the power. You can hold up the budget. You can hold up. You control the power of the purse. You can hold up a bill if you're not satisfied. So, but what's happening with all of those authority that you have to at least keep the executive in check and so forth?
So if we're 20, if we needed to be 20 to take that decision, we got to be 20 to overturn the president's decision. There will be 20 senators standing firm. And there will be 50 representatives standing firm. You can't get that number, my brother. You're not getting it.
We'll have Peabody for one of you. Which one of you guys? I want Peabody you.
Well, Senator, mine is not a question. It'll be an invite. March, I will be coming to Liberia, and I'll be going to one village in your county. We'll be dedicating a school there for about 200 kids. So I hope you can come to that village and be part of the program.
I will appreciate it. Which village is it?
Yep. It's somewhere in Starting Cody. It calls Zesno district. I think where Atase is from.
Okay.
We're gonna go there. So come and bless the occasion. I'm sure it will be one of your campaigns for the president. It'll be one of your campaign for the president.
I'll be there.
Okay. I'll let you know. I'll update you. All right. But thank you for your appearance tonight. I think you answered most of my questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, so we can wrap up.
You know, I've been doing this thing, and I did it in government. I'm sure Senator Kuhn and I met several occasions, several places, and did things. You know, I'm so impressed with just looking at the live feed, the commendation to you. The Liberian people are already hailing you as a hero. I hope when you go home tomorrow, you'll take your time, watch the show, and read the comments. You will see what the Liberian people said to you tonight, and it will inform you going forward.
Thank you.
You see, when I see political embryos who have not morphed, we've done this thing, we got thick skin. And people who spend 40 days in the country compared to someone who worked almost 4 years as the government's deputy spokesperson, taking information and processing it, there is something called the consolidated account. When Asila Bito pays, and I'm not lecturing you, I'm coming to my question to you.
I know.
When Asila Bito pay, they pay the government taxes. What do the government, the royalty and everything, they give the government. Then Nimba County is there. But no matter whether Fagon, Tomalin, or Peabody, Bombing, Basso, wherever, the money goes into that one account. The government has a sifter in place to say, oh, Nima, yeah, Bon, yeah. Today in the Senate, the question was asked. And I'd like you to confirm, were you in the Senate today?
Yes, I was there today.
The question was asked to Minister Tue. How long has it been since the people of Bomi, Cape Man, and Bapolu money was sent? His response, and I'm quoting him, several months now. That's what you just spoke to. People are getting frustrated. They're calling us political opportunists. And people who've been out of the country 40 years and went there for 40 days, should we call them political embryos? Because, again, we will not be doing that here. It's an attempt to disrupt all the brilliant ideas you put forward here. My thing to you has to do with Bomi, Kipman, and Bapolu. Those guys are going to come back. You people suspended things today, correct?
Mm-hmm.
But the Justice Minister, on page 2 or 5, I should tell you, did not do justice. I would like to stay in contact with you to give you the points to raise. You cannot come and take my house, according to him. You rent it. Me and you, we finish. It's you who choose to suspend your activities. Then you come back to pay my money outside of the legislature. 2 men went and negotiated to relieve those people of 13 million. That's point one. I'm coming to the question. The second thing is the same MOU say the MDA was not rectified. So on what basis did they do that? Thirdly, and I'm coming to you as a presidential hopeful with the actual question. Then you look into the same thing. A justice minister sits and say in a document in black and white that it will supersede a law that you, the senator, made that is yet to be rectified again. That MOU, a memorandum of understanding, will supersede a law. Looking at the losses, looking at what you heard today, speak for the people of Bomi, Cape Mount, and Bapulu. If you were president and such a situation happened on your watch, we know you're not the president, but you are a presidential hopeful. Talk to us. What would you have done given the facts in this case?
So the first thing is, according to Twitter today, there were arguments from the company that because of the force majeure, they don't owe government. And so they argue that you owe government. Based on the argument, they settle on certain amount. And the minister said all that you said. This was my last comment today. I was the last person that spoke. I said on the issue of who has the responsibility to waive taxes or government money up to the amount of 10 million, we needed to answer it. And so we needed a judiciary committee to do some research and get back to us. Let them go on an oath. And after our research on all of the stuff they spoke on, we'll call them and we all can speak from an informed position. That's where I stopped today. But I think the people of Bomi, Cape Mount, Bapulu deserve their money. And the minister said today one of the issues they have was the distribution of the money. Simple. Kanto Nima will get you our formula. Nima, Basa, Bon. Mita gave her 3 million area. Because we host the mountain, we get 50%. Because the IO go through Bon, the whole a larger portion of the rail, they got 500,000. And because Basa has a port where all the last work is done before shipping take place, they take 1 million. Use the formula. Who holds the mountain in the western region? Who got the rail moving, accounted? And at what point are they shipping it? Use the formula. And give the people the money and get Nima money and get our money. And we are arguing as senators and lawmakers that this budget is the last budget on a president we are. Let's make sure that all of the county's debt is captured within this budget and paid. That was a decision we made. I would be hopeful if we all can stand to it and make sure it happens.
That was the only question I had for Senator.
Thank you. Senator Kuhn, thanks a lot. It's been a pleasure having you. I mean, trust me. I know when you started your initial discussion, people were a little bit getting ready to say you were too long, but later on, when you got into the real business about discussion about what our country needs to move forward, people really welcome you. And as you can see, the live feed, a lot of positive comments about your explanation tonight and your vision you have for Liberia and so forth. But I can say that whichever ticket you find yourself on, whether it's president or vice president, any ticket, that's will be a formidable ticket. I think you have some great plans for our country. We have very positive vision for the country, and we look forward to in the coming weeks, the coming months, to see where your party will stand, which way you're going to go. If I'm hearing also that you are for your some coalitions in the making with you that will help to join you to run. I don't know how true it is, but maybe you can address it in your closing. But it's been a pleasure having you on our platform today, and we look forward to your agenda, your result-oriented vision for the country, and we pray and hope that you will do your best in your future political sojourn. So, can you just give a closing and before you leave
Thank
us?
you, Tamale. And let me say this. And I will ask before I say, do you know why the chief told this marry a lot of women?
No. Oh, the chief? The chief?
Not chief married 30 women.
30 women? One chief?
One chief. 50, 20. You know the reason?
For me, I would say to have many kids.
It's not because they were women, they were womanizing or they just wanted many kids. It was to balance power. If there was 20 children in Riverside, as a chief, the people can gather and change you at a certain time. They have their own formula. You marry from each of the children and gather 20 women from the 20 children. All the women are not your women. One of them is actually your wife. The other one, maybe your BB boys, some of your people, and a woman in there. But every child is born, that's your child. When there's an issue, election coming, or something happen, and this other children get disenchanted, the first thing they say, our sister or our daughter husband. You gotta go see him. Then when they come, their daughter say, let go, you go see my husband. Then they talk. It is from that background that the people who wrote the Constitution said president and vice president can come from the sea region, and the president must balance the country. It's not because you have the will and pleasure, so you keep the government one side. And there's a need. Look, you can put your picket in other places, but you have to do all you can to balance the country. Because when other counties don't see their children in government, regardless of where you do what you do there, they believe the government is not their government. Because their daughter is not married in her home for her to take them to see the president. And so going forward, whether I'm president or I don't win, or anybody who is president listening to me, please, let's balance the country. There are qualified people in every region of the country. Bring them in government. Let the private sector be strong. You can help your friends in the private sector. They can do a lot of things. I tell you, the private sector is the way out for Liberia. If we want to move this country, we got to go to the private sector big time. If you create a lot of jobs in the private sector, which is easy to do, it's just to put your mind to it. If we can get it done, we'll create a middle income class. Liberians will be millionaires and will compete with other people around the world. I'd like to say thank you. The show was good. Like I said to you, we are having wide range of consultation at the appropriate time. We'll speak to the country, and that will be soon and very soon. I'm running around the country. I'm trying to see all Nema first, because I'm a senator in Nema. That's my backyard. They say the place you let it fire, I play can start burning. If I can see Nema, and Nema telling the people out there that they're not correct, that Nema know me more, they'll have problem. So I'm sealing in. I'll be going across the country, and there are consultations everywhere. And one matter is Liberia. And once we get that answer, I can assure you we all will be around it. Thank you. God bless you.
Just one last before you go. Have you visited the 9 electoral districts in Nima? Have you visited all of these districts?
Oh, I went to all 728 towns in Nema. I know all.
And
The
lastly,
central election, I went from town to town. I took every district, went to every town. If I didn't go to any town in Nema, and I'm more than 10%.
so just last question. Your brother, your Nima brother is also running Tiawan Gonglo. You think it won't be a problem? You guys will not share the votes. Both of you will be on ticket. Like if you on another ticket and you on another ticket, you think the votes will be shared, and it will affect any ticket that depending on which ticket you guys are on?
So we are under 2. We are 3.
Oh, 3.
And maybe some people might come.
Oh, really?
But as I speak to you, the elders are having a meeting. I met the elder the last time, and we had a discussion. They are trying to bring us together and see how we can narrow in. I hope they can achieve that. We all are willing to work with it. Tiawan is a big brother. I respect him. Nothing against him. If he become president, good. If I become president, good. What matters is Liberia. I'm not desperate. I'm not one person who... The only job I can do in Liberia with no boss is elected position. I can't be minister. I don't want it. I prefer being a money changer than a minister. If I'm money making, I would do better as a money changer than a minister. Nobody can tell me when 3 o'clock, all kind of thing. Somebody going to the airport, I gotta be running there to wait for you. You coming by running. I don't in that thing. The people that my boss, man, they finish, I go sit down. I go do my business.
That's the voice of Senator Jeremiah Bankong, the senator of Nima County and also the political leader of the MDR. And Senator Kuhn, maybe you guys don't know, he's a businessman. Before he became senator, he was a businessman in the private sector. That's why he mostly private sector oriented and one of the successful Liberians looking at. So, I mean, I won't call his wealth, but he's getting pretty good. And he came from the private sector into politics, and he came prepared and strong enough. And so one of the few senators, I'm telling you that you should keep an eye on. He has a lot of ideas of changing the country, changing our way we do things in our country. Senator Kuhn, it's been a pleasure having you. And I can tell you, I see people say you made a day. A lot of positive comments I'm reading. People say you made a day. And I think you held yourself well, and people are impressed with your performance today. And we look forward to seeing you in the next few coming weeks and months. When you coming to the USA?
Once I'm done with all of my running around, I'll come there. I got a lot of invitations from different groups. I'll be there. I can tell you I'll be there before the election.
Oh,
for sure.
Sounds good. Look forward to seeing you.
I still do business today. The only thing I don't do business with government because it's against the law. But I still got majority of my businesses running.
Just that because of time, but I hope another time. But I saw some projects, some buildings and hospitals that was constructed, schools and so forth. They were constructed while you were in the private sector, or while you were in the legislature.
Okay, so when I was in the private sector, I used to be in hotel. If you went to Ganta, the hotel called Jackie is owned by Floyd today. I built it. I sold it to him. The gas station across the road, I own it. I lease it to Petrol Trade because I won the election. At the back of the gas station, there's a big coaster there. George Abichade leased from me. And when I won the election, I had a land I bought purposely to build a hospital because my intent was to build a hospital in honor of my daughter who came down with epilepsy when she was 8 months. She's now in Minnesota. She lives in the States because she got life in the States. Here, no life. In fact, people will say that wish and all kind of things. But you know, in America, people with epilepsy, if you check them more than all the citizens in Liberia. But yeah, we still novices to it. And so she lives in Minnesota. So I built that hospital in her honor and my mother. It's called the Esther and Geraldine Medical Center. I ran it for 2-3 years, and because to run it is difficult, the total budget is about 1.7 million a year. Everybody comes to the hospital, they can't afford. We're bringing doctors from overseas every 2-3 months, doing about 1,000 surgery every 2-3 months. And I send you some of the photo. And so I finally turned it over to government. So the government runs it now. There's no more Imacare.
You see that? That's he avoiding conflict of interest. Like we have some people, some lawmakers, some official of government. They are in government. They are ministers. They have schools. They are ministers. They have clinics and so forth. Conflict of interest. But Senator Kuhn, I mean, he's an example of showing that when he entered government, he turned it over instead of doing business with government. That's a good thing. And I'm telling you, Liberians are impressed, and I look forward, like I said, look forward to having more engagement with you in the coming weeks, coming months. And I will know the election will be exciting. We'll view around. We'll see an exciting election in the next few months. So, Senator Kuhn, again, it's a pleasure, and we want to say thank you for coming and wish you best of luck and best wishes in your endeavors.
Thank you. We are getting late, but I can tell you, if I go down Waterfall, the women that go to China, we all go to China, so they know me. If you want the gas fee, I was selling gas there. If you went to the parking station, I was driving taxi. If you get money, wheelbarrow ball, I was wheelbarrow ball. There is no sector that I'm not a part of. And so these are my friends. We are connected. Watch and see what happens in a short space of time. Thank you. God bless you.
Wow. Thank you, Senator Kuhn. Well, guys, you just heard it from one of the most popular senators in the country. This man is in almost all the conversation for president and for vice president, and he may more likely be on the ticket. I'm sure, either as a president or as a vice president. So, Kev, what's your thoughts about Senator Kuhn before you give your closing remarks?
Well, people should listen to, the most important part that I took from his interview. When Chairman Ben keep pressing him, and he refused to say he's running. So talks, there are more discussion, out there. They are meeting a lot of people, political parties. So you actually can see that he's not going there. So Prince Johnson said he going to run the field, but he kind of refused to go there. So I thought it was an interesting part. But overall, he did his thing.
Thanks a lot. James, you have something to say? Want to say something? Okay, just want to say thanks again, guys. Interesting discussion, and we'll continue our programming tomorrow. Perhaps we'll have I know I'll be traveling tomorrow. I'll be traveling tomorrow to North Carolina. Raleigh for my friend father's funeral. Mr. Juro Krumah, my friend and brother Ahmed Krumah. I'll be traveling along with my two brothers, Charles Milton Myers and Prince Brick Thompson. We'll be together this weekend. And also this weekend will be the burial of the political leader of the what party name again? What Kese party? What Kese party bound? The late Kese party.
PLP.
Yeah, the PLP leader will be laid to rest this weekend in Pennsylvania. The program we had at Victory Harvest Church International, and of those who I expect to see scores of Liberians attending the funeral of Dr. Daniel E. Cassell. Again, want to express our condolences to his family and wish God to give them strength as they go through these difficult moments of their lives. We pray that Mr. Cassell's soul will have a peaceful repose in the Lord, and God will bless his family. Keep the family in the thoughts and prayers. Again, let's continue to prepare our country, Liberia, and let's continue to march forward to the election come 2023. See, close.
Yeah. I just needed to be part of this. Kafiko, did you close?
Yeah, I think Kev done, right?
No, I didn't close yet. I was just he asked me before I close, but maybe it's I don't know if the Tomley call that close.
Okay, Kev close.
Kev close, man.
No. He did his thing. Like I said, not much there. The only thing that people sometimes want to use certain things in their own interests. But it's very interesting to see that Chairman Ben pressed him to ask him, "Are you running?"
What did he say though?
He said, "We are in talks." Never went. Never.
In talks. He actually answered. He was very careful in his answer, in responding, because don't forget now, they are in a discussion like I heard Prince is the governing chairman of the party, whatever the case, but he gets on big title. He said that we are in talks with ANC, UP, and so forth. But I think from what I gathered tonight, they made it clear that they won't do business with the CDC, though. I don't know. But,
no. Tomlin. You see, CEO, I don't know if people can use their own imagination to imagine stuff. He did not say that.
No,
he did not say that.
No, Kev.
He said
I don't think somebody's saying he was definite. He said what he gathered. Because when you listen to somebody, you gather something.
What Tomlin gathering? Tomlin, gathering something that he kind of puts in himself, he kind of feeding.
Well, I think let me say this.
He's feeding his hypothalamus to spread that in his.
No. But let me say it. Let me say this though. I'm sorry I couldn't. I will be on the show tomorrow, by the way, and I know we'll be having a wonderful program tomorrow. But I would say this though. Jeremiah Kuhn was well calculated today.
Yes, he was.
He couldn't just, he couldn't just come out and say, I will support CDC or we're leaning towards UP. Everybody know exactly what's happening. They know everything Prince Johnson has said, But Chairman is saying, hold on, everything. Chairman is saying somebody. Chairman is in somebody's apartment. Hold on, Kev. Chairman is in somebody's apartment. One of the apartments downtown in Congo Town. When you turn right, before you get to the Congo Town bypass, that's the location. But Chairman, who walking by you there? So somebody just walk by.
Hey, brother.
Let me. I was trying to rush to speak to Senator Kuhn before he left. I think he.
Then let me make my point, Chairman. Let me make my point quick, because while I was there, Senator Kuhn did tonight. I think he saved face, if we will put it that way. He wasn't leaning in a way, confusing the minds of the folks. But I do believe, and I strongly believe, maybe say what you want to say. At the end of the day, Ben Sevi, Timothy George, Kev Hassan, MDR ain't going anywhere. At the end of the day, not to be frank, they are still pushing this thing, but at the end of the day, you're going to still have Prince Johnson going back to President George Manor. We are calling the forces together and to have a united front. They're doing everything right now. We're against the status quo. We don't want X, Y, and Z. We'll make our argument. Jeremiah Kuhn either run for presidential or somebody tapping to be vice presidential candidate. But again, I'm not saying this to please Kev Hassan. You are not seeing the clear path that they are leaving CDC. You are not seeing it. If you've seen it, seriously, it was going to be so clear tonight. Jeremiah Kuhn didn't say it. He went contrary to Prince Johnson. I think they're just raising the bar high. I think they're making the negotiation to be so great. But right now, I can say to all of our followers joining us, I do not believe MDR going anywhere. But you guys make your
Oh,
point.
though, because you know something, Jeremiah Kuhn today, what he did today, he laid his like a vision, his agenda for Liberia. He laid it first.
But how many leave it to them, man?
Honestly,
Yeah.
the man talked
How
about
many leave it to them?
section and so forth, and he laid a vision for the country. Number two, Prince Johnson said, and he said, look, I asked him, I said, are you guys that you're going to support? He said, watch and see. And then,
But let me ask you 2 minutes, George. Georgie, can I ask you a question? Georgie, I will interrupt you though, because you guys have over 2 hours on the show. Let me interrupt you a little bit.
Yeah.
If Prince Johnson, Jeremiah Kuhn, MD Aaron, seriously, if they say they are leaving, where are they going?
From what I gather, he made it. Prince Johnson said they're talking to everybody. They're talking to Boyka, talking to comments.
Answer my question. Don't let me answer my question. I beg you, Tumane. You spoke to Jeremiah Kuhn. You spoke to Prince Johnson. I am asking you, for the sake of our audience, today, where you think they will fit in? Where are they going? Where will they fit in right now? With less than 10 months to go.
I cannot. That's a hypothetical question.
Oh, get the hell out of there, man.
I want to come in. There are a couple of hypotheticals, right?
Yeah, let me. I beg you.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
He said, and I told him when I said he's not consistent. He said wait and see, and he made it clear. And today somebody came on the show. One of Prince Johnson, I think is one official advisor. Somebody who's very close from Nima to. Man, they were talking. The person said, "Look, Prince Johnson made up his mind. He made it clear he's not going to go to the CDC, and they will hold into his word." So if Prince Johnson, if he come out and say something different, that means I will say again.
Okay, can I please comment, please? Ben, I want you to comment on this, Ben, and maybe you need to answer this question. If you believe MDR going, if you believe the seriously we are leaving CDC, my question and the question a lot of Liberians are asking, where are they going? Where will they fit in?
Well, first of all, this is a game of chess. And I want Tomalin to take off his emotions from this conversation. I know you want to see a competitive race. I know you want to see the CDC coalition break apart. I know you want to see this other coalition form, all these other things. Look, let's be fair. I think Jerry Cohn did well, right? Answering the political questions. I think he was very strategic. I asked the question, and I know exactly why I asked him the question that I asked him. Because I wanted him to be definitive.
So you asked the question I sent you, right? The question I sent you.
Yeah, the question is exactly. Because he was not definitive. He wasn't. He was not definitive. And guess what? They are talking. He did confirm that they're talking to all sides. He said CDC didn't reach out to him yet, right? But having said that,
but can I interrupt you? I'm sorry you couldn't press him, Ben, because CDC reached out to him.
Yeah.
Senator Prince Johnson said that they met the president. So to say CDC didn't reach out, I think he was in error.
But listen, he was smart. He was smart. He was smart. He said he put it on Prince Johnson.
Oh, he reached out to Prince Johnson
as the former political leader. He said Prince Johnson withdrew them from the coalition conversation, but it was Prince Johnson who, and it's true, it's Prince Johnson who has been having these conversations. But let's also state for the record that Jeremiah Kuna is the political leader. The only question that I thought I should have asked him that I didn't get a chance to ask him was, is Prince Johnson pulling the strings from the back, or is he the one calling the shots? That's the question that I wanted to ask him, but I didn't get a chance to ask him.
But answer your own question.
You know?
What do you
think? Definitely Prince Johnson. Definitely Prince Johnson is in the back. But let me say this. The CDC, I keep saying this, and to my friends and brothers in the opposition, your hope is not a strategy. Stanton, I've always said it. I think me and you had a long conversation last week about this. Hope is not a strategy. You cannot base your success on the hope that your opponent is going to fall. You have to develop a strategy that you're going to be going up against a strong opponent. Whether you like it or not, the question you asked Tommy is very strategic. Where is MDR going? It's the same question I asked on their platform about MPP. All the predictions were about MPP going. Guess what? MPP is not going nowhere. MPP I've seen t-shirts printed of MPP saying MPP say yes to Weah Taylor. Joe Howard Taylor is getting ready to get nominated with George Weah. LPDP is not going anywhere. I keep saying this until the opposition. Look, whether we like it or not, what MDR is doing, I believe is they're playing a very smart game.
I'm sorry, guys, for going above your time. It's just 6:30, so I think. But let me hold you the chairman because you don't have to drive home. You're home. It is important to know that this guy is not going anywhere, chairman. It's all bluff. Yeah. And I know my Papa PYJ will get mad because I'm saying this, or Jeremiah Kuhn will say, why is Stentel saying that?
No, I wouldn't call it bluff, though.
No, chairman. Let me call it the way
I think they're raising the stakes.
Chairman, let me call it the way we call it, right?
Yeah.
CDC is quiet right now because you know what? They want to make Prince Johnson mad. Oh, but understand, they got a minister position, they got deputy minister position. These guys are in the government. If MDR are leaving, when the government squeeze this guy and say, yo, you just say, yo, know what the chairman just said? You saw it last week, right? He said, I'm standing with Josh Weah.
Well, no, that was the former Secretary General.
The former Secretary General. Thank you.
But even with that, let me
make the point, though. Let me make the point. And I asked Jeremiah Kuhn, and I sent it to Prince Johnson, and I asked him, this guy, he's your strong man too. He said he's still standing with the president. He cannot condemn the president. He's not leaving the president. And as a matter of fact, he's mad at you, Jeremiah Kuhn, and he's mad at Prince Johnson. Guess what?
A couple of things are going to happen. The chairman of the MDR, right, is the Minister of Posts for Telecommunication. The chairman of the MDR serves in President Weah cabinet, right? Couple of things are going to happen here. I think the MDR is raising the stakes. I think they're talking to, he is right that elders are talking. Nimba feel like they are not, they didn't get a fair share of what they wanted.
The CDC wasn't fair to them.
All of that. But there is a fundamental question here that is supposed to be answered. Is looking at the lay of the land, looking at the playing field, gentlemen. The MDR has a fundamental question to answer, especially Jeremiah Kuhn. Jeremiah Kuhn has a bright political future ahead of him. He's going to sit down and he's going to weigh all of these things. Prince Johnson is in the twilight of his political career. Prince Johnson, let's not forget, Prince Johnson is fighting for his re-election also. Yes, it is assumed, and it is many political pundits will say that Prince Johnson is going to win the election. But guess what could happen here? MDR do not want to come across as being seen as overplaying their hand, because there are a lot of factors that can happen. Because at the end of the day, Prince Johnson not running for president. Prince Johnson not running for president.
Because we got to go. Let me ask you a question real quick, though.
Yes.
At this time, what do you think will satisfy MDR?
I think they're pushing high demands. I don't think they're going to get all, because obviously you also got MPP pushing their demands. You got LPDP pushing their demands. I think there's going to be an equilibrium here, right? I think there's going to be an equilibrium because you got to understand the Congress.
Real quick, let me hit you right there. You think this will be resolved before the Congress go for the convention?
MDR, I'm not sure. I cannot predict that the problem with the discussion with MDR.
I mean Jeremiah Kuhn, man. I should attack Jeremiah Kuhn.
We're talking about next week, right?
MDR is not part of the coalition for democracy.
MDR, but the CDC doesn't need the MDR to nominate
all the little problem. Do you think CDC going to resolve this thing before the CDC convention?
I would predict they will get the coalition in order. The original three parties, I predict they will get them in order.
Worry if CDC say, you know what, we're going to nominate George Manuel Weah without MDR. That would be.
I think that's the more likely. That's the more likely case.
Hold on, Kev. We'll not go for you as sedition, but give us chance one at a time, please.
Yeah, vote for us as sedition. both policy decisions. But let me say this. You know, one of the beauty I like about what's about to happen. This is the juicy part of the politics.
MPP partisan disagree with you. They said Ben.
Tommy, let me tell you something. Tommy, let me tell you something. I'm not worried about I'm telling you.
Well, why are you condemning them? Because you support Joel, Ben?
No, I'm not condemning.
If you say you're not worried about what they are saying, it means that you just.
Let me say what I was about to say.
You can't buy the base.
Let me say what I was about to say.
Okay.
I have always said, and I will continue to state it here, having disagreements, having resentment is different from saying I'm pulling out of a coalition. It is a fact. It is a fact. Are there going to be MPP partisans who will not be happy? Yes, there will be MPP partisans who will not be happy. But is MPP willing? The fundamental question I continue to ask, and you're not answering
That's
this
the same question. Where are they
is
going?
MPP willing to give up? Is MPP willing to leave the coalition? Is that the question? That's the question I keep asking.
But the MPP partisans, that most of them are saying that they can buy the leadership, but they can't buy them because the messages, what message will use to mobilize them?
Too many. Can I say this right quick, Ben? Ben, let me say this. Ben, let me say this right quick. Too many. NPP is in the most difficult position right now. When they're saying, no, in a way that we're going to withdraw. Number one, you have your steno bearer or your former steno bearer who is now the current VP. If you leave that position, who's going to give you that position again? No political steno bearer out there will give you that position. One. Two, where are you going, NPP? The same question for MDR. Where are you going? I mean, you got to settle your differences with CDC and hang with them. Are you going now to say, I will join NDR, I will join LPDP, I will join everything and we'll go to UP or we'll go to CPP? I mean, those are questions that.
Let me make this point. What I've gathered from most of the partisans of any various parties, what I got, they have gotten to realize that their leadership, all they have done in the past, negotiate for their own interests and forget about the general group, the general partisan. As a result,
okay, so where are MPP partisans telling you? What MPP partisans telling you they're going to go vote? Asking you that question. The MPP partisans that you were talking to, who they voting for? They voting for Joseph Boyka or they voting for Cummings?
They're saying that they'll vote for one of them, for both of them. They will spread their votes.
Oh, but they will not. Wait. But they are not voting for Joe. We are
not following the leadership.
So this is what you are saying, and maybe you're making sense. You are saying that anything but Joe. We are. Is that what you're saying?
I want to tell me, yeah.
Wow, I don't think.
So let me agree.
We have to discuss this because if you come check, Kev, wait 1 minute. Let me make this last point. If you are saying, Georgie, and I hope you are talking to the real NPP folks though, or the real MDR folks. If they are saying anything but Josh, then personally, I think I would disagree with you. I'm not saying it.
I will end on this no for Kev coming. I'm
not saying long you will come in. I'm not saying Tom. This is advice for Tom. You will come in. Tomlin, stop hanging around with Fagon. Stop it. No, seriously, stop it. He messing you up. Fagon imagination you going with. Stop. And he can see you that crap. He takes you guys. That's Fagon.
Guys, I would say this.
Man, let's go.
I'm not vouching. I'm not stating here. I don't speak for MPP partisans. I'm not telling you yet that every MPP partisan is voting for George Weah. Guess what? Newsflash. Every MPP partisan didn't vote for George Weah in the last election, but they were in a coalition with him. Every MPP partisan didn't vote. Guess what? So my thing, I keep saying, and Tomini say, oh yeah, the leadership will go and the base, according to him, he said the base is going to go to the opposition. Listen, you talking to few MPP partisans. What made them the spokesperson for the base or the MPP? That's what I really want to know. Look, this election is going to be serious. I will end on this note. This election is going to be contentious.
I agree.
If George Manuel Weah wins re-election, he is going to earn it. It's not going to be a walk in the park. He's going to fight.
But I think Ben, and I hope you can come on the show. Let's have some serious conversation tomorrow again. And as you get ready to leave Liberia next week, I hope you can find time join us till next week. But let me say this to you, Chairman Ben and the Chief Tumani, Honorable Kev Hassan. You guys had a great show. Listen, we will have a better program tomorrow because this is important. I'm not saying the MDR leaving. I'm not saying the NPP leaving. I am not. Sorry, guys. If you are mad, that's okay. I think President Weah is in a position of strength. They will shake him up. They will beat on him. They will talk to McGill. They will talk to whosoever they want to talk to. But President Weah right now is in a position of strength because you know why? For NPP, he got Joel. He got Joel. Joel almost half of NPP, and you guys know that. Prince Johnson, where you will go? Prince Johnson said he cannot go to Cummings. He cannot. For reason we know, and he have said. Where would Jeremiah Kun go? This is the same Jeremiah Kun that voted yes to every bill that passed the House defending CDC. This is the same Jeremiah Kun. Why couldn't you guys remind him? This is the same Jeremiah Kun appreciate the work of the president that he have done in Nima, though they're still waiting for the 7.5. This is the same Jeremiah Kun agreeing to everything, every agreement from CDC. And Prince Johnson.
Critical of the government after that. Indirectly critical.
Brother, that flash, brother.
I enjoy showing me the green jacket. I recognize your green jacket. You wear.
I carry you out to there. Let's go sit and drink some beer, man.
I want to tell you, I'm interested. Don't be telling me. I got myself different. And if I don't say,
don't mind Kev. Kev is doing something good. Kev is doing something good on the show. So, folks, before we leave you tonight, we can announce through Kev effort, he have brought in Ben Servi, who will be supporting CDC, and he's working to bring in Tumani George. Believe it or not, where do you think Ben Servi will go? Ben Servi's mother is the vice president.
You know something?
Ben Servi, let me finish my own. Let me finish my own. I beg you. Let me finish my own. Please. Ben Servi's mother is the vice president. Ben Servi, Ben and all that brought today. I think. Did you meet the president today, or is it postponed for tomorrow?
No,
Ben Servi is doing.
I'm going to meet the president.
I know you will because we understand. So
I had a great.
Kev have done extremely
well. Let me announce how other people I met.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, you want me to tell other people I met?
No. Kev has done a great job. You know, Ben Servi is not comfortable supporting CDC. That's fine. You're working on. Yeah. Let me ask you though. You know within yourself you cannot support CPP.
But let me say this.
You cannot support UP.
Let me say this to you.
You are well positioned. Let
me finish now. Let me say this to you. You know, it is a fact that VP Taylor is a mother to me.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that VP Taylor was the vice standard bearer of the CDC when I was the national chairman of the Liberty Party. Now, fiercely fought them. And when she became the vice standard bearer of the Liberty, the CPP, of the CDC, in all fairness, she did reach out and say, listen, I'm vice standard bearer. I need your support. And I told her, I said, no. I'm a member of the
end of the day, but at the end of the day, those whatever you said was flat. At the end of the day,
let me say this.
You cast in your one ticket that made President Weah and VP Taylor to win. Say it. Be proud of it, man. Be proud of it. You did. And we are seeing the same thing again coming. You will support this government because you got nowhere to go. Your mother is there. Bravo. Right? I want you to be frozen. That we asked the internet person to okay. Your mother is there, so that's a good thing. We appreciate that, Chairman Ben Servi. It's a good thing, and we hope that you will be a blessing to CDC. Now, Kev is telling me he working. Who you working on? Tumani George, right? Kev? Why you don't trust Tumani?
Listen. The CDC that big tent for everybody. So.
You still Mr. Cummings were now.
CDC always a big tent. You know that.
Cummings say they got a big tent.
But I want to say thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you for holding it down, Kev Hassan. As always, we'll be back again tomorrow, man. It is all well. Thank you. Well, Byron, and good day. Come on, Byron. Good day.
Okay, guys.
Okay, there you go. Good day is on. Byron is on. Chairman Byron.
Good evening, Chief.
How are you today?
I'm so excited to see you.
As always. I
How
like
is
your suit,
everything?
man. I like your suit.
Thank you, Chief.
You bring a change of attire to the program. That's good.
I wore it purposely for you. to
Oh,
see.
thank you. You wear purposely for me, but you're wearing gray, black, and white. That's not a good color.
That's
Good.
good.
Good to see you. Good day, buddy. Again, call me, folks. I'm glad, and we'll be back here tomorrow. Who we having tomorrow? Who's the guest?
Oh, we're working on somebody. We'll know hopefully by.
I thought you guys were bringing in Dr. Chris. Yeah, I heard he was coming in. Or you guys were bringing in Dr. Ford from Georgia.
I will contact Dr. Christian after the show.
Dr. Ford, because they want to talk about the considered situation in Georgia. She reached out to us. So till we meet again, you'll have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Barbara, you can't dress. She so miss up color you wearing. Well, close the tina go by. Pass up people that know how to dress. I'm not hearing you.
The CEO Stanton with the sport.
Barbara, you have to end the show.
Friday the South
You have to end the show.
on the beat.
Well, this is your FM service. This is Spoon FM. It's 11:46, 60 minutes up to 12 May. The invitation is yours to join us here tomorrow. By the grace of God, we will be on this radio. Join the entire Spoon FM team. My name is Byron, and have a good night. Please don't
forget, Pastor making dress. You know what? Yeah, Pastor making dress. You see your chairman, Mr. Bye bye.